or southbound along Florida's Turnpike. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Everdoor Garage Door. Everdoor's Forever Springs last for life. And right now, you save $75. One fix, forever covered. That's Everdoor peace of mind. Lock it in today at everdoor.com. Everdoor, the garage door that lasts evermore.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.com/rules.
John Clay Wolf had an idea 30 years ago, and he created GimmeTheVin.com. He's been buying used cars for 29 years, and every year he knows the used car market is peaking when the Bedford pear in his front yard blooms. Guess what? The Bedford pear has bloomed, and that means now is the best time to sell your used car at GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Spring allergy season is here, and if you're like most of us, you're suffering from allergies, maybe even sinus infections. Let me guess. Itchy, watery eyes, sinus headaches, sneezing, runny nose. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help, so you can start treating the source instead of just masking the symptoms. Aspire has helped thousands just like you with solutions that actually work. Don't spend another season being miserable. Go to AspireAllergy.com to schedule your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
You'll use the radio in your car more than anything else. When buying a new car, make sure the AM/FM is simple, clear, and convenient.
Get ready to taste, rock, and repeat at SeaWorld Orlando's Seven Seas Food Festival. Explore over 200 international flavors, then catch your favorite artists live in concert at Bayside Stadium. From Omar Courts to Gene Simmons, the Beach Boys, Fitz and the Tantrums, The Fray, Trace Atkins, and Boyz II Men, it's an all-star lineup you won't want to miss. Best of all, concerts are totally free with park admission. Plus, with an annual pass, enjoy unlimited visits, over $3,500 in bonus benefits, free parking, and access to over 30 live concerts, all included. Visit SeaWorldOrlando.com to see the full lineup and get your pass today.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today.
407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text EDGE to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of...
What's happening? Good morning. Good day. Happy Wednesday. What's up, Twitch? Hello, YouTube. Hey, Zero. Gnome Badger, Man Kick, and Water Boys. Hello. What's happening? You have to stay. You have to stay. You can't go home.
Too bad, so sad.
Sorry. Oh, you did? What was the problem? I would have thought you would have just chucked that thing.
thrown it away. Goodbye. What's up, Radio Michael 7? Miss you, buddy. All right, guys. Let's do the thing.
Terms do apply.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from an Iranian battleship sunk to fresh new details on the Misty Roberts sex scandal. And should people be able to bet on an impending nuclear war? Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Not bad.
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you, fella?
Good. I mean, there's a lot going on. Again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I think we'll have some fun along the way. It'll get weird.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing weird today. Always guaranteeing weird. So we'll see where everything goes. Let's start by putting our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to a car dealership, everybody.
All right.
I know you weren't expecting that, huh? We were going this way, that way, Burger King, McDonald's.
I mean, usually it's an airplane. It's
not always airplanes.
It's a lot of times it's an
Or
airplane.
sports.
You know, this new meme you got going on where 95% of the show is about airplanes is a little hurtful.
Show is about airplanes
Listen,
a lot.
I consider the fact that this is what he does to cope with his fear of planes, and it's helping me out as well. So.
I got to tell you, it now got me. C-Lane saying, like, everything will be like, is it on a plane? Everything on this show is on a plane. It might as well be the plane junkie. Isn't it the airplane junkie? And now I look down when I'm grabbing my next story, and if it's about a plane, I'm like, oh son of a bitch. It's a plane story. C-Lane's going to put another one down in the column of the plane stories for this. This is at a car dealership. A car dealership where you got to be creative. Don't you? You want to sell vehicles in 2026. How do you cut through the nonsense? How do you get people's attention? You take little bites of burgers or big bites of burgers, or you sell your car with a little bit of skill. And this particular gentleman, let me see if I can give him a shout out. He works at the Chrysler dealership in Cocoa, Florida. And he started going viral.
Not to be confused with Cocoa Beach. They don't like it when you do that.
No, they hate each other. It's like the North and the South. It's real bad between those two for the same reasons, too. And this is how they advertise their cars at the car dealership. The guy, I guess, is a really good opera singer. So he opera sings the cars.
So
and that's how he sells it?
That's how he sells them.
Is this how we find out that there's not a future in being a really good opera singer?
Maybe. Like he's talented, but he didn't end up on the stage next to the fat guy. Or the fat lady. Yeah, whoever does that stuff. Here he is. Let's listen in.
Not real.
He said, buy this Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. That's what he's getting into
is he
here.
Lip singing or singing whatever or just this is how loud he actually is with music?
He's a loud man. He is a loud, boisterous, from the chest man. Yeah. It's hard. He's doing it, though. What's a jailbreak car? That sounds
That's when
bad.
you could load apps on it that weren't in the car's app store.
Is that right? I don't even know.
Or
I
you
don't
can
know if
drive
you're
it right
trolling.
through a jail and let everyone out.
I mean, do they name a car jailbreak? Are we at like Grand Theft Auto levels of naming vehicles these days?
Also,
this what's happening?
Very unreliable car, just for the heads up.
It's no good. The
Garbage.
Dodge Challenger SR. I thought Hellcats were cool. They're not. These are
they're
not cool cars.
They look cool.
But not reliable.
Not reliable.
You know somebody with a Hellcat?
I just follow a certain person on TikTok who names all the reliable and garbage cars. And Hellcat was one of the main ones.
Really? Okay. Oh, well, don't get one of those. Unless there's a guy singing opera. Nailed it. How do you even sing opera? Is this? I'm sorry if this is a stupid question. But
Have you ever seen it live?
No.
Okay. I had not up until a karaoke I was hosting last year, Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah.
And a gal came in with her parents, older, and I'm still doing the savvy thing of like filthy lyrics and whatever else comes out of my mouth. They're like nudging her, go do the thing, go do the thing. And she requests Carmen, you know,
the Carmen?
The Carmen.
Yeah.
She gets in front of everybody, and I kid you not, the entire bar was silence as she sang for 5 minutes, full-blown opera. And next to it, I mean, the microphone was 3 feet away from her, and you could still hear everything she was saying. It was fantastic. And I said, can I get you on the show? And she said, no, I'm leaving. Bye.
Is it so different than regular singing that
Yes.
if she was to try to sing like a Taylor Swift song, she would suck? But she like,
Sorry, I had to go press record real quick. I forgot your question.
I'm pretty sure I nailed that.
If the nail...
You know, you got to get down.
Did you just climax?
I'm just trying to opera sing. I didn't expect
opera
my
singers.
Wednesday to kick off this way, but here we are.
Neither did I.
But she like,
I got it covered.
that's not me. That was not me. You reverse auto-tuned it.
Because I paid for that technology.
Yeah, you were, because it sounded beautiful when I did it. Now you play it back. It's not over until that lady sings.
Yeah.
That's when it's over.
Just called yourself fat. That's
yeah.
really
Well,
taking the wind out of my sails.
I deserved it today. One more time. Did you delete it already, C-Lane?
Oh.
Oh my God! All right, back to the real guy. Boniface, Hairs, and Coco. Beautiful.
That's a cool
Unbelievable.
car.
It feels like a car too cool for me. If I'm honest, when I look at this kind of thing, I'm
It's
like, I
loud.
shouldn't drive that. It's too fast.
But
Too
your shirt
cool.
matches it.
It does. My shirt is purple today, which CNJ Forge on YouTube says Sean Watson is not a good singer. There's a guy who prank calls.
Such a
all the time.
good callback.
Yeah, there's a guy who calls the station every once in a while, and if we talk about like obviously great singers, this guy gets so mad and we'll go, you know who was great? Queen and Freddie Mercury, and he'd be like, Freddie Mercury was not a great singer.
Not a good singer.
Yeah, and I think he's serious. I think the guy might be serious.
Yeah, there's some seriousness there, but also there's some other things, I think.
Problems?
Wow.
There's like is it a stew of things?
I wonder
Little
if that guy still
seriousness?
tries to call.
Nothing right now, but I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah,
George.
Sir, if you're out there, not a good singer guy, ring us up right now. We'll take the call. 888-978-1041.
That one's not there anymore.
No,
No, we stopped paying for the toll free. You got to pay for your own calls now.
Buddy, that's a bad sign. if we're not paying for the toll free anymore, why? We might as well hang it up around
No,
here.
407-916-1041.
All right, cool.
And then
We're like 2 steps away from them having to use a calling card to call this station.
Sean, we have hung it up in regards to the phone. We have hung up the phone and we haven't picked it up in forever.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. That's
I'll
fairly
save this
true.
guy calls, I guess.
Congratulations, sir, and your opera singing abilities. I hope you sell the Hellcat. I really think you got something going on.
I'm going to
in
hit
this
him up
Cocoa
and
Florida
see if he
dealership.
can do something for us.
It's great.
He's
does he
right
do that
down the
for every
road.
car? Hold on. Cocoa.
He's over at
dealer.
Boniface Hires.
Okay, Boniface. Okay, Boniface. Is there other? Because I only saw that one. But is it like every car on the lot has Boniface what, C-Lane?
Hires.
Boniface, Hires?
I believe so.
And here's the thing. This poor dude, his coworkers, poor coworkers. Because you have people that go, I want to buy from the opera singer. And he gets all the commission because of the singing. And the other coworkers are like, I don't know what to do here, but I need to make a living.
Please stop singing, sir.
This is an opera joke, but one of the TikToks of this guy says, by popular demand, Nissan Dorma. Does anybody?
No, really?
Do you know what Nessun Dorma is?
Like the famous one. Yeah. Wait, so it's on the TikTok. Andrew Allen Hears. Is that where
Hires? Yeah,
Hires. Okay, hold on. I got another one here. This is it. Nissan Road.
Oh, it's so good.
They show some photos. He's kind of good.
Oh, he's good. Trademark?
It's covered by our warranty forever.
With a small trademark symbol, please.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Congratulations. Buy your cars from the opera guy, I guess. And now you have my beautiful voice to match with him. And opera is my thing. I didn't know it. I didn't. That one is, it's a slight burn now because it just happened. But if I'm talking like 5 years from now and I go, and I'm like, look, guys, I can sing. I used to be in a band. I was on the stage. I played in front of big crowds.
America's a whore.
I was in a ska band and a punk band, and I can sing. Trust me on that one.
Pick it up.
And then the clip hits me. Just boom. That's tough. All right. Okay. All right.
Can anyone remix this in the next hour? Please email me.
No, the problem is no auto-tune and no beat is going to help that. I don't
Big
think
time.
there's any fixing that. Tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. After yesterday's show where Misty's got it hard and not in the kind of way they like necessarily.
Well, that
but
one seemed to...
The people named Misty... because there is a woman, we're going to do an update on her story today, involved in this huge sex scandal, Misty Roberts. Her son caught her in the pool with his 16-year-old friend having sex. And then she said, we lie till we die.
Now, that was her friend, I think, said, we lie till we die.
Okay. And they got together and they were doing a whole cover up. And this woman was a freak. And I said, a lot of Misties are weird. They're like this. Another Misty emailing. After hearing the explanation as to why you wanted Misties to come forward, I felt like Homer Simpson going back into the shrubs. This person says, in defense, I'm pretty low key, so much so that people I know think I'm secretly in the CIA or something. But yes, it is true as a Misty, I'm not a prude. Men have told me I am a machine.
All right, get it, girl.
Really? But everything else I disavow. Not a troublemaker for realsies, says this Missy.
Missy or Misty?
Misty, excuse me, Misty. That was an actual Misty. Over to Delbert emailing the show, tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. I spent 16 of my 20 years in the Air Force flying on EC-130Es.
Oh, good planes.
I retired in 2005. He's talking about the discussion about Iran and all of that stuff. The modes and codes identified you as a friend or enemy. The modes and codes rotate every 24 hours. U.S. air crews are current and update and rotate codes on time to make sure U.S. aircraft don't get shot down. So he's talking about how, and it came out, I have this somewhere here. It came out yesterday that it was a Kuwaiti fighter jet that shot down those 3 F-15s. One dude in a fighter jet in Kuwait says he accidentally shot down 3 American F-15s, costing us about $300 million.
Damn, what a hell of a shot.
A lot of monies, right? And the story was, I'll give you the details before I get to the rest of the email. The story from the Wall Street Journal says, a Kuwaiti fighter jet mistakenly shot down American F-15s, initial reports say. A Kuwaiti F-A-18 fighter jet was the cause of the accidental shoot down of 3 American F-15s on Sunday, according to 3 people familiar with initial reports of the incident. One F-A-18 pilot launched 3 missiles against the U.S. aircraft, according to a U.S. official. All 3 U.S. aircraft went down, but their pilots ejected safely, which is just a miracle that these people didn't die. The incident occurred soon after multiple Iranian drones penetrated Kuwaiti air defenses, with one striking a tactical operations center at a commercial port and killing 6 American service members, according to a second person. Kuwaiti officials were on edge when their radars detected the jets flying in, and the pilot was like, is there more drones? Are they going to go after the Americans? We must save the Americans. Boom, bomb, bomb. And they fired, instead of on more Iranian drones, on 3 American U.S. aircraft F-15s, each of them carrying 2 pilots, and shot them down. A U.S. Central Command spokesperson declined to comment. The incident's under investigation. Official cause of the crash could change. But Delbert's talking about how this all works, and I'm like, shouldn't they have known? They're using Patriot defense missiles, probably American-built planes, who knows, and firing on American-built planes, and they're our ally. How do they not know any of this stuff? So he says U.S. aircrafts are current and update and rotate codes on time to make sure they don't get shot down. Since the Kuwaitis fired, I can guess they didn't load the right modes and codes, and they showed up on their radar as enemies. From what Delbert is saying, you have like a pop-up display in your fighter jet, and people literally show up as good guy or bad guy.
Nice.
Like there's like a little icon for good guy or bad guy.
So wait, well then where are the chodes that didn't load the codes and modes?
I don't know. But if you add one more to that, I think I might explode. No, too far. Other basic information, all U.S. aircrew, member pilots, navigators, load masters, aircraft controllers, all those people, they must wear a flight suit and complete land and water survival courses to survive situations like this. We all must carry 9mm handguns. You have to know first aid, survival techniques, all of that stuff. Happy to answer any questions you have in the future.
Is the 9mm handgun just in case they can't read the blood chit?
It's a poison pill. Yeah. It's probably like, a lot of people who don't look like they like Americans on the way.
Give them one 9mm and the other gun shoots out a sign like in the old cartoons that also in their language tells them, please don't kill me.
Last one for now. Jax emails the show. He says, I'm listening to the beginning of the podcast from Tuesday, and you started talking about something from Monday, but there is no Monday podcast. What gives? I'm an avid daily listener for over 5 years. Where is my show, says Jax. C-Lane also pointed that out yesterday, and I guess in the mix of 8 billion things I had going on, I forgot to post a podcast on Monday. So I posted it as the missing show. So both of them are up now. So you should be good to go, podcast peeps. Let us know how that rolls on your end. Hopefully all is well. All right, quick break. When we come back, we have a loaded up show. They shot down a battleship. They sunk a battleship. First time since World War II. What the hell?
Whoa.
And I'll tell you what actually happened with that. We'll get into that. Then we got a crisis in the power company world, utility workers on edge because of what happened to one of their peers. I'm going to play you the audio of one of their peers making what may have been a massive mistake, but it's going to rock your world. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI has data. We have bad ideas.
Stand by, schoolmakers. We're going to chat in just a moment. I've got a live read, and then we'll talk. Hang tight. Did you like my opera singing? Yes or no? Chat. Did you like my opera singing? Yes or no?
408. At this time, there is an incident that has a right lane blocked southbound of Kirkman Road. That's before Sterling Crest at Valencia Community College Drive. We are clear on the 429 toll as well as the 408, and no major issues reported on the Greenway or the Turnpike. Our Valvoline instant oil change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
Let me tell you about an amazing company, a company called Mills Air. They're there to help you out when anything goes wrong with your air conditioner. They're a friendly, local, family-owned and operated company that is going to do right by you. I promise you, I assure you, they are going to fix whatever is broken with your AC and get it up and running like it's supposed to be over at Mills Air. Their techs have done it before. Any problem you got, they've handled it. Trust me, they know. Don't bother looking over on YouTube and electrocuting yourself or causing more damage than you already have. Hold out for the folks who will be there very quickly from Mills Air when you dial 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Act.
True. All right, folks, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Stand by. I've got to let the aquarium guy in. Hang on. He already got in. Forrest texts me and says, a jailbreak is a nasty tuned trim from Mopar and Dodge. So a jailbreak is like a super speedster, if you will. A jailbreak is mega fast and furious, as they say. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Austin. Austin says the aquarium guy has a key. Austin. Kurt, Kevin, hello. There's something fishy about that guy? Come on. You're better than that. 90 seconds, and we're back live, everybody. Everybody say hello to our cameraman down here, Samuel L. Jackson. He's the one who follows me around the studio. You may recognize him from such films as Jurassic Park, Snakes on a Plane, and various other Samuel L. Jackson vehicles. Oh boy. There we go. He's on the job today, hopefully not screwing up. Hey Ted. Hey Rage. Hey everybody. We're going to talk about this battleship being sunk, not on a board game, but in real life. Pretty crazy. We'll talk about that. Believe it or not, updates in the burger war between McDonald's Tiny Bites and Burger King Big Bites, fake phone numbers. And the utility worker in the most frightening, disgustingly scary situation you could ever imagine. That actually, the utility worker accident is next. If you haven't seen this, it's nuts. We're coming back right now. Let's go. Gamma?
The world. This week, I'm joined by investigative journalist Julie K. Brown.
The Justice Department, through, I think we counted 4 presidential administrations, failed these victims.
Listen to Bleep with Ana Navarro on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Bleep with Ana Navarro and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening to...
Hanging out in the world's most viral newsroom. So good to see you today. Learn more about the show, get the podcast, do all that good stuff over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. A bit of a choice ahead of you here. I'm going to, Celine and Sabrina, give you a decision to make. And, well, choose your own adventure here on the show. Do you want an update on the burger war that we are currently chronicling? And that is between McDonald's and Burger King, when the weirdo...
You talk about it like it's a new thing, like they just started fighting.
Well, they just started fighting in this way.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's CEO took that tiny weirdo bite out of the burger, and then Burger King CEO, who pretended to give out his phone number last week or whatever, he decided to fight back and take a big bite out of a Burger King burger. And I have an update on that front. Or a utility worker who is caught in the most insane situation that I've ever seen in my entire life. We have a decision
what's in your
between...
other hand? I understand the prop for the first proposition, but what
This is a guy blowing up. This is it's
his mind being blown.
Oh, it's a kind of...
The representation of your options are a tiny little Happy Meal box for McDonald's, obviously, and then a little garbage pail kid whose head is blowing up to show you that something went wrong with the power guy. And we're going to need a decision. Where should we go? To the McDonald's update or to the power company failure utility lineman makes a bad move update?
All right, Sabrina.
These are two very, very tempting options.
Sexy, yes.
But considering that I know the backstory and I'm not wholly interested in the update, I'm going to go with the... Was it garbage pail kid exploding, please?
Okay, the utility worker accident. All right, utility worker accident.
Yeah. Well, this is awkward because
you want to,
I choose McDonald's versus Burger King.
Oh, well, guess who's the tiebreaker?
C-Lane. That's my guess.
Me. I'm the tiebreaker.
Fun game.
And we're going to the utility worker guy who made a big mistake, and I teased before the break. A utility
Does that mean I get
worker.
the little doll?
No, there's no prizes.
You held it up like it was a prize.
I know, but nobody gets it. I get to keep both of them. Those are little items that stay around here. And this says, utility worker rushed to the hospital after falling from a bucket truck. You guys know what those bucket trucks are, like when they're fixing the wires overhead. And it's like a little crane truck, and there's a bucket at the end that they stand in to work on things. And the Baton Rouge Fire Department in Louisiana says a mechanical failure caused a problem. And next thing you know, the bucket where the guy was hanging out caught on fire. The bucket he was in caught on fire. And somebody captured this.
Oh, gosh.
On video. And I didn't even know this, but thank God when they're in those buckets on the top of these utility trucks, they're strapped in there. So when the utility bucket caught on fire, the guy hopped out and he was dangling from
my God,
the restraints that he had. And you could see the whole thing is engulfed in flames.
This is so weird looking.
Guy,
why is he moving his legs so much?
He's just because I think he's really heating up from the fire there. God. But can the truck not let him down? Could they not? Maybe that would lock it up.
The controls, I believe, are in the bucket.
Oh no, are they? They're not on the bottom.
No, they have controls on the bottom too. I think there's both.
Well, no one's helping him get down.
Yeah, there are probably 3 or 4 utility workers on the ground, folks. And obviously, I'm going to put this on See It Now for those of you who want to take a look. But the utility workers on the ground aren't lowering the bucket down, and this poor guy is just dangling as the bucket truck is on fire from this accident that happened. And then he ends up dropping. He ends up dropping to the ground. I'll give you the story, the details on this in just a moment, but let me get a snapshot for See It Now real quick so everybody can look at the visual on this. as per usual on the show, if there's something that we are talking about that is a visual, and I know you're listening, almost all of you, to the show right now on this fine radio station or even podcast, I want you to be able to see when a utility worker bucket accident happens. That's how I hide that I'm typing the title of it on See It Now in the moment. No, nobody would have known. Just absolutely brilliant stuff on my part. But it's up over there, so you could take a look, and you see the predicament that this guy got into, and I'll give you the details here in just a second. It's on the See It Now section of the News Junkie app. As we look at the story itself, here it is. It says, person injured after falling from burning bucket truck, officials said. This is from WAFB, and they said one person was rushed to the hospital after falling from a bucket truck that caught fire yesterday. Emergency officials said the person was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. According to the Baton Rouge Fire Department, a mechanical failure caused the fire in the bucket, and police responded to the scene afterwards.
Didn't we have another bucket truck issue like a handful of weeks ago?
Did we?
Or like somebody hit one, or somebody had a thing like that?
Mm-hmm. Somebody's saying it caught fire because an electrical wire touched it. That's not what they're saying here. I mean, it just says that there was a mechanical error of some sort. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe the wire touched it. And I mean, that obviously could be a spark of it. Let's see what this says. This is just from the scene afterwards.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It's like a camera guy just chit-chatting in the background.
Sometimes guys catch on fire.
Called out to the scene. In the background, the bucket truck has been moved to the ground, thankfully. But I think what happened was, the bucket truck guy, his utility bucket truck thing that he's way up in the air on, catches on fire, and then he wants to get away from it. So he has these safety harnesses, and he jumps off, and now he's hanging from the bucket truck. And when he's hanging from the bucket truck, he also has another problem because it's still really hot above him.
And below him. There was a fire down below him, too.
Yeah, there was a fire on the ground, too. So this guy is just, he's really in a tough spot. And we got to figure out what to do with him. So I think he unbuckles himself from the harness and drops to the street afterwards in Baton Rouge. Just absolutely freak accident. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different stories about this. Here's WBRZ talking about this as well. Let's see if they have any other details.
Also breaking, Evangeline Street and North Foster are shut down at this very hour due to a crash. A reporter on the scene says that it appears that a bucket truck made contact with a power line. One person was taken to the hospital, but we have not received an update on what their condition is. We'll post updates as soon as we get them into the newsroom.
All right, everybody's got theories on what happened to this guy, but none of the stories that I've seen give any sort of confirmation on what happened to him afterwards. I hope he's okay. I don't know if he's in for a payday or not, but if you've got a dangerous job like this, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm not doing a dangerous job right now, but man, am I reading about him. I see this. I see that there was a guy on The Deadliest Catch who show lives up to his name. He falls off one of those ships. I used to watch that show years and years ago, and a guy died on one of those crab boats out there.
Did he catch anything?
I hope he got something beforehand, but the guy, he was in a terrible accident out there. It seemed fell into the water, I guess, and then this guy's out there getting hurt. It just reminds me of how fortunate we are to have a pretty, very safe job, I guess you would say. But we'll hear from those of you not doing one of those today. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we'll save the McDonald's story because it is a breakthrough story, just a massive banger. Instead, we'll talk about that tiny little story over in Iran where they just sunk a battleship. Like, we're literally sinking ships. It's something that hasn't been done in warfare since World War II. But we're sinking the battleships out there. They even have some footage here for those of you watching, and I'll put this on See It Now as well. I'm watching, all right, there's a battleship, an Iranian battleship on the water as a U.S. submarine takes sight of it. Boom!
Whoa!
Blows the front completely off of the battleship. Direct hit. Sunk your battleship. Except this is real life. This is a real life event that was happening. Caught on fire afterwards. and they sunk to the bottom of the ocean, this particular ship. That initial blast from the torpedo, I'm imagining, is just wild to see. And again, I'll put this up over on See It Now. But did it surprise you that we haven't had a ship sunk like that since World War II?
Pearl Harbor, maybe, or other parts of World War II?
I mean, I guess throughout World War II, do a fact check on that, C-Lane, and see what else we can find out. But
so what is the reason why, in the sense of since then, have we just avoided it? Well, are people engaged in some sort of battle like we're just going to do it with drones or capture the people on the ship? Why was the decision made for this to just completely sink it?
You know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I know when you face off in a war and they see the ship and the ship is by the sub, the U.S. is at war with Iran. They're like, well, it's us or them, so we're going to do this. But why hasn't that happened? All the wars we've seen recently have been ground wars mostly or air wars. And here we are because Iran is nestled into an area with actually some waterways and oceans where the naval ships can go and battle each other. Maybe we're going to see more of this. Crazy, though.
Big Doug Millionaire said they didn't use subs in Pearl Harbor. I know that. I don't think we're limiting to the use of just submarines in this situation. I mean, I know that the video we showed was was another ship, but the last battleships sunk in combat were all Japanese ships, the Haruna and the Hyuga.
When was that? What year?
Both destroyed by U.S. aircraft on July 28, 1945 at Kure, Japan. The last battleship destroyed by another battleship
80 years ago
was the Kirishima on November 15th, 1942.
You know what? The thing about that you might not consider that comes to my mind immediately is if you're the parent of somebody in the armed forces, let's say from our perspective in the U.S. Armed Forces, and they're deployed on a ship somewhere, this means you have had the peace of mind of thinking that they've been relatively safe because there hasn't been ship-to-ship or sub-to-ship combat like this in a very long time. And now they're shooting down ships. They're bombing ships. They're using subs to take down this Iranian ship and various other ships in their naval fleet. And so obviously that means this is open for the inverse of this to happen. I imagine a lot of parents who have kids that are deployed and on one of these ships are feeling that, oh boy, that's a big change right there. In fact, I see some people on chat talking about this exact situation. The deployment on these ships is no longer as safe, even though you're in an active military zone no matter what, but not as much as it would have been. And with that, let's take a look at, they've released the names and identities of the 4 U.S. soldiers killed in the attack on Kuwait. Always good to put a story behind the people that you lose in situations like this. 3 men, 1 woman who died at this place in Kuwait. They're going to look into this more. I've heard that maybe the place they were staying wasn't fortified as much as it should have been, and there's some questions about why exactly they were there. But these are the 4 soldiers that they've announced were lost, and they also told some information about them in some of these stories. So
I saw one of them was from Central Florida.
Yeah, one of them was. Yeah, one of them absolutely was. And their names are Captain Cody Cork, 35, of Winter Haven, Florida. Sergeant First Class Noah Tietjens, 42, of Bellevue, Nebraska. Sergeant Declan Cody, 20, of West Des Moines, Iowa, who was posthumously promoted from specialist. And there was one more who was Nicole Amore, Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore, who was, oh, God damn, man. Hate little factoids like this. It makes things real, which is important. It's important that we understand what's going on here. Now, the casualties on the U.S. side are incredibly low so far, but, remember, there are people involved here. This woman that you can see if you're watching on the stream, Amore, the tidbit about her that they put in the Associated Press article was Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore was just days away from returning home to her husband and 2 children when a drone strike at a command center in Kuwait killed her and 5 other U.S. service members. She was almost home, her husband Joey Amore said, from their home in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. You don't go to Kuwait thinking something's going to happen, and for her to be one of the first, it hurts, he says. Amor was one of the first 4 U.S. soldiers killed in the Iran war on Sunday and identified yesterday by the Pentagon. But those are the people behind the numbers that you're hearing so far. Let us know your thoughts on all of this. Support, don't support, all of that good stuff. How are you feeling about this so far? This is a place not only where we talk about everything happening viral in the news, but how you feel about it. And I've got a video that's going viral right now from somebody who is a wife of a soldier, and they have some opinions, and I think they're interesting, and I want to talk about where that's coming from. I'll let you hear that viral video that's popping off right now, and you can decide what you think about it, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show. It's like Christmas, but without the presents.
Hey, we have trivia.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
School mic activated. Gotta put my props back. Chat, rate my garbage pail kid. This may or may not be Adam Bomb. I think that might be his name, Adam Bomb. With the removable, explodable head, a garbage pail kid. Quite beautiful. Also comes with the detonation device. Very high-end product here. Could be yours for what? I mean, it's just not for sale. Rate my garbage pail kid. Gotta put it back where it came from.
Elixir Orlando, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. Plus, you get a free Nick Ultra or Neutral.
Put this over here.
You can also grab that Jack's Fit app in Lake Mary. Tuesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Put this right here.
Get a free Nick Ultra or Neutral for each ticket.
McDonald's section. Dig it. 10 out of 10 and a 1 out of 10 for my garbage pail kid. That's brutal. I get both sides. Both sides. There we go. Got to give him the thumbs up with the camera. Does Wasson still shop at Chess King? I have no idea what that is. Do enlighten me. All right, I got a question for you, chat, okay? Let's see how much time we have. All right, we got a couple of minutes and we're back live on the show. I have a question for you. If somebody has a loved one, let's say a husband, son, whatever, deployed actively for the military right now, is it okay for them to make videos, posting them online, expressing their feelings about the war in Iran and how they feel about the soldiers who are over there in harm's way like some of these folks are? If you're complaining about it, if you're saying like we shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't have this, you're speaking out against the war, but your husband is a soldier or your son is a soldier, do you think posting those videos is okay? Is it okay to do that, or is somehow this like a traitorous thing, which is what some people seem to think about this? You think it's okay for loved ones to post on social media their feelings against the war? Mind you, I'm talking about them specifically saying, like, my husband is fighting right now. The war in Iran is unjust and we shouldn't be, et cetera, et cetera. Totally okay? Freedom of speech? Sure, why not? Freedom of posts? Freedom of speech, First Amendment? Yes, completely okay. I do. My ex-boyfriend, love that story. As a combat vet, I support the troops, but not this war. Being anti-war is one of the most troop-supporting stances to have. Absolutely, yep. Anyone can express their feelings. Military spouses have standards that are applied also. Now, there's a question. I don't know if they have rules that apply to them. Like, hey, your loved one cannot post X, Y, or Z. But I think they should be able to post whatever they want. And I imagine myself in that position, which is what real empathy is, not what these political weirdos think it is. Real empathy is an imagining of yourself in somebody else's position. And I imagine that my partner or my son, my son is of age that he could be drafted, and he'd be a great warrior. But how I would feel about that, and then if I was posting my feelings about that, how I would feel about people saying you shouldn't do that. I mean, I think it's as fair as ever. In fact, I think their view on it, even though it doesn't give any more weight to it to me, either something is right or something is wrong. It is not right or wrong because the person with a loved one in the war zone said it. It's either right or wrong on its own. But I'm more willing to hear what they say because they have some skin in the actual game. These aren't some war hawks or Code Pink weirdos. These are the people whose voices I actually care about. People with some skin in the game. Courtney doing a Publix run in Kuwait as a resupply? True. 90 seconds and we're back live on the show. And I'm going to play a video from one woman whose loved one is fighting right now in the war in Iran. So let me know. She's back now, but she was there when Iran and Israel were exchanging missiles and drones a few months ago. So somebody experiencing it, Dwayne experiencing something like that. Why is Grimace talking about the war? Definitely not okay. When my husband was in the Air Force, I was always careful about what I said online relating to what was going on in the military. I never wanted to say or do anything that would reflect badly on him. That's sort of what a lot of people in that position generally do. I wonder, is this changing? Is it because now we have an active conflict that the U.S. involved in and we're seeing it more? I'm interested in all your vibes on this. I want to play the video that started this conversation. So let's do that now, since we're coming back live on the show. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Ah. Use as directed.
Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junk.
Forget the same 3 songs over and over and over again. You've heard them all before. Hang out with us. Let's talk about everything happening in the world of viral and viral news. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. One thing that's got a lot of people talking is a woman made a video, and it's the wife of a member of the U.S. military. And obviously, there's a war going on. We're bombing Iran with Israel, and Iran is bombing everybody around them. And, there's a lot of stuff happening on that front. And this woman, who is the wife of a member of the U.S. military who's deployed in the Middle East, she went on TMZ and was complaining about this. She was complaining about the war. She was complaining about her husband being involved in the war, and she was making things pretty political. And a lot of people were pushing back on that. In fact, I see it in the post here that has almost 1 million views that I'm looking at. It literally calls it shameful and inappropriate that this woman, who's the wife of a member of the U.S. military, who's allegedly over in the Middle East somewhere right now, is complaining about it. And I'll play the clip for you first and tell me what you think. And just like generally speaking, a lot of people get upset. They're like, wow, you're a wife of a service member. You should not be talking bad about the active conflict that's going on. You should not be doing this, which I don't understand because honestly, I think anybody who's got actual skin in the game, those are the only people I really care about having any opinion on this. It doesn't sway me much because something is either right or it is wrong. It's not wrong because the wife of a soldier told me it was wrong. It's not wrong because this woman who could lose her husband said it was wrong. It's wrong because it's wrong, or it's right because it's right. It really doesn't sway me either way. But as far as people having opinions on this, shouldn't I care more about the person who has a loved one in the war zone than like some weirdo online, or some like war hawk who's never fought in a war or sacrificed at all in their life? For me, I think their voice would be at least the one that you would go, okay, she's got some feelings. Maybe she's making it political, but whatever. At least she's connected to this. So here she is. Let's listen to him.
He's also not happy. And I will say more than any other decision that any commander-in-chief has made in his entirety being in the military, more service members are being vocally upset about this than we've ever seen before. But it is very obvious to a lot of service members and a lot of military families that this has nothing to do with protecting Americans. This has everything to do with distracting from this administration's dismal performance at home. And what we aren't okay with, what my husband isn't okay with, is risking their lives to serve that distraction.
Okay, so there she is. This is the video. She's on TMZ. I don't know why TMZ connects with this lady, but whatever. She's on TMZ. She's got every right, freedom of speech, to say whatever she wants. The only thing I do take issue with in this is you got to stop speaking for other people. Speak for yourself. If you want to speak for your husband, I think people will be okay with that. But when you start to say, like, what I'm saying is representing a majority opinion, basically, like, I've never seen this many people coming forward and speaking out against a war. I've never seen X, Y, Z. So she's kind of like, in a way, using her and how her husband allegedly feels to kind of represent a larger movement within the military, which may or may not be true. We don't even have to sort that out. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do this, I think, generally speaking, you should speak for yourself. You should say, here's how I feel about this. Here's how my husband feels about this, and not go any further out than that.
But I mean, also, if he's out there and now this is going mega viral, are you not considering what it's going to be like for him when all his buddies find out what his wife's doing back in the States?
Well, if she's right, I guess it would matter, because she's claiming like him and all his buddies are against this. And like her argument is that they all sort of feel this same way, which, again, I don't know if that's true. She's speaking on behalf of a bunch of people who she probably doesn't even really know their opinions. But otherwise, it's like, I guess that's true. It could make the person a target. Although I don't know why Iran would want to target somebody who's kind of helping them out in the propaganda war. She goes out with her name. She says, I'm Kendall Brown. She says, I'm upset. My husband's upset about this attack on Iran. And it's called shameful and inappropriate. And people, just generally speaking, are kind of crapping on her. Now, there's some people defending this, which I think is the right move. Somebody says, what's shameful about this? It's free speech. We're literally in a war because most of us voted for Trump because he promised there wouldn't be any more wars. And then the person who posted this responded, you're missing the point completely. Regardless of one's opinion of the war, a service member's wife shouldn't be going on TMZ to share his opinions for millions to see. And now he will probably be in trouble. Another comment, military families are allowed to be scared when your spouse is deployed in a war zone. Politics hits different. It's not just headlines, it's your real life, which I tend to side with that. I think that
scared, yes, but she's coming off like she's annoyed. She not?
She's coming off as if she's fully not supporting it, and she's not supporting the reasoning behind it more than anything. She says we think this is like a wag the dog situation, which if you don't know what that is, it's a distraction. Like a president's not doing well, so you start a war,
right?
And she's saying the reasoning for it is we're not supportive of this at all.
Is it? They're saying like think about what her husband getting in trouble. Is that allowed? Like, could he like legally face retaliation for some stuff that she says?
I don't know.
I would think unless it's like privileged information. Now that would be something he would get in trouble for. But if it's just her speaking her mind, she did kind of speak for him. But maybe that's maybe that would factor in. But I think like, wouldn't it be a violation of her free speech if he was to be punished for what was in the video?
Maybe to piggyback onto that, C-Lane, Eddie says the free speech argument is for those ignorant to military standards. So I'm willing to defer to somebody who's been in the military and who's an expert on a topic like this where, I don't know. I'm willing to defer to that. I'll ask you this.
She's not in the military.
She's not in the military, so she can say whatever she wants as far as I'm aware. I don't see anything that would restrict the family member of a service person from saying whether they agree or disagree with the war that their family member is engaged in. That would be anti-free speech. I don't know about if you are a soldier, if you're allowed to do this. Like there could be rules against a soldier posting on TikTok and be like, I'm over here in Iran. What the hell? Get me out of here. Like I could see that would be something that maybe you couldn't do. But this is the wife of she says that she's the wife of a member of the U.S. military who's deployed in the Middle East, and she's complaining that her and her husband are upset about this. The only issue I really take is that she's acting like she's speaking for more people than her and her husband. You have the right to have an opinion. You have more skin in the game than any of these losers on X.com or any social media platform. You have the right to have an opinion about this. I might agree with your opinion or disagree with your opinion, but this is sort of the economy of opinions that many of us have lost. And I hope I'm not talking about you, but I might be. This is the economy of opinions that we have lost, where you should go, all right, I disagree with that person, but I mean, her husband's serving in the Middle East right now. I can understand why she might have opinions about this. The alternative to that is that we just go around and whip all these service members' families and make them have the same opinion. I'm the one against pushing people socially or otherwise to have the same opinion. Different opinions are okay, especially somebody with skin in the game like this. So I want to know what everybody thinks. I disagree. Get out of here. I want to know what everybody thinks about this. Doug says military spouses are not military no matter how much they try to say they make the sacrifice too. Soldiers, says Eddie, following up, are definitely not allowed. Some idiots do it anyway. Zephyrus Biker, rather, on YouTube, speaking now, says join the military and lose rights like free speech that you're in there fighting for in the first place. Yeah. I mean, yes, a little bit. Like if you are a soldier in the military, you are going to lose rights. You are going to lose things afforded to you otherwise. You can't say freedom of speech for every soldier because that doesn't work in war. You can't just like, all of them should be able to have cell phones and post their own personal opinions to TikTok. That would be a propaganda goldmine for every enemy that we ever have, as if we don't have enough of those for people because of the discourse in the United States of America. That would be a problem. But the family members, say your piece, man. Say however you feel. Do your thing. You got feelings on this. Your husband might not come back. We just heard from the first 4 people that they announced that were in Kuwait in this place that died. We heard that one of the women, the husband was upset because she was just about to come back in a matter of days, and she was in Kuwait, and he didn't think she was in any danger. And she has a kid. And so she didn't get... So, like, those people are allowed to be mad. They're allowed to be upset. But I do want to see what you think about this. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Run it behind. Quick break. When we come back, I have a question about something they sell at gas stations, and this is a weird one. I've never heard of this product, but you have to stay away from it. Otherwise, there will be big, big problems. What's going on? That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Someday we'll all have a good laugh at how we'd lose an hour of sleep for no other reason than tradition. Until then, daylight savings time can suck it. Real Radio.
Hello? Stand by. Hello, I'm back. Check. Good.
We are clear on the 429 toll as well as the 408 and no major issues reported on the Greenway or the Turnpike.
1 sec.
The instant oil change traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by
All right, folks.
Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted.
Skull mic activated. Let's chat. What do you think? What's going on? Alicia says former officer's wife here. Do you have a problem with what that woman said, Alicia? Or her ability to say it? Brisby says, we were soldiers and happily exchanged that free speech to protect it in agreement. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of foolish, this idea that, like, soldiers in the war wouldn't have some kind of reduced freedoms of speech. Like, yeah, definitely. There are things that you have to give up when you're fighting in a war for the military. You come back and you're in the United States of America, do your thing. But one thing that is true over history and time, and if you read any world history, you'll certainly know this, is that the United States of America's freedom of speech has been used against it, and its anti-war movements have been used against it as massive propaganda W's in about every war we fought. So in Vietnam, the North Vietnamese, there's no dissent allowed. You will be killed, you are either on board or you're dead. And in the United States of America, we have people burning bras and protesting the war in Vietnam. And then the Vietnamese are like, look, even the Americans hate this. We hate it and the Americans hate this. And it becomes a propaganda coup for them. But as far as the families being restricted from saying something, I would never be on board with that. They have the freedom of speech and they should be able to do that. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Bootsy. Welcome in. What are you ranting about? Military spouses and bucket trucks? True. Hey, that's the glory of this show. It's always a wide variety of things. "90 seconds and we're back live. Question for you, chat. We'll switch it up again. Question for you. Have you ever purchased any sort of pill or potion from a gas station? Have you ever purchased any sort of pill or potion from a gas station? And if so, what? Horny goat weed? Admit it if you did it. Have you bought anything from the gas station? I have a story relating to this, so it will make sense. Have you ever purchased any pill or potion from the gas station? Wait till you hear about boner bears, friend. All right, here we go. Stacker 3. Rhino pill. Stacker 3. Rhino pill. Horny goat. Dramamine? Salvia at a gas station?
For eye sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go, just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. Watching the world burn with some friends since 2007. This is...
I didn't expect this. You ask a question to the audience sometimes, and when the answer comes in, I'm not usually taken aback, but I'm taken aback right now. I have a question for you. The question is this. Have you ever in your entire life purchased any pills or potion from gas stations? And I ask you this question because there is a news story related to this, which we'll get into, and we'll get back to serious stuff and everything else going on in the world of viral news. But right now, a bit of a side quest here. And when I said to chat during the break, have you ever bought a pill or potion that they sell at gas stations? You guys, a shocking amount of people have purchased one of these things from these gas stations in our chat right now. I said, what have you bought? If you bought it, they're saying stackers, rhino pills.
Is that
Don't even know what that is.
Erections?
I think a lot of them are actually, Sabrina. Yeah. And then like horny goat weed is one of the things that
I've heard of horny goat weed.
Yeah, but have you ever bought or taken anything from the gas station like that? Me either. No.
I think the closest thing that I've like bought from a gas station that would be in the realm of some of the things they sell there that I kind of am sketch about is like the old 5-hour energy drinks.
That I've done, but I don't count that really. That feels too mainstream.
It's like it's in that same section of the gas station. They're pretty close to the horny goat weed. Yeah.
But it doesn't count just like this. Somebody on chat says, I bought some Advil from Wawa once. That's not what I'm talking about. The pills and potions that are from these sort of nefarious, mostly Chinese companies. Some of you were saying Kratom, Spanish fly.
Kratom, yeah.
You guys have done these things?
What was that fake weed called? I remember I had friends definitely.
K something? K5?
No. Spice?
K2.
Yeah.
K2, somebody says. Yeah. I've never purchased anything like that they sell these like little nefarious pills and potions at the gas station. But there's a lot out there. And I saw one in the news today and I go, well, I don't know what you expected. I don't know what you expected. Here's the very real story in front of me for those of you watching on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. It says in the headline, chocolate syrup boner bears has been recalled nationwide due to a hidden drug. And I mean, some of you out there are buying boner bears and it's a chocolate syrup. What is that? Like you having dessert beforehand and you put a little on there and then, after, or is this during you put the chocolate syrup on your partner?
I am thrown by, I don't think I've ever seen an FDA warning against any of those gas station things.
No, me either.
So what does that say about, are we in a good place now that the FDA is looking out for us for realsies, or this is so bad the FDA decided to make a public statement?
Let's see. Chocolate syrup boner bears recalled nationwide. It says because it contains a male sexual enhancement drug. Well, I would imagine, yeah. But one not listed on its product label, the story from Pix 11 in New York City says, Lockout Supplements of Texas issued a voluntary recall because the product contains sildenafil. Sildenafil, commonly known by its brand name Viagra, they're putting the real Viagra in this stuff now, is often used to treat erectile dysfunction. FDA approval of Viagra is restricted to use under the supervision of a licensed healthcare professional.
So they're basically selling sildenafil without a prescription?
Yeah. You just buy this stuff. FDA approval of Viagra is restricted to you and your doctor, and you get a prescription for it. But this is something that you could just go buy at like a grocery store or like a gas station.
So is the FDA mad because they didn't approve of the same exact thing that they approved prescription-wise?
The FDA is mad because you're not supposed to be able to access this thing without a medical prescription.
Right.
And the company just went and took it and put it in a product called Boner Bears, which I'm looking at right now.
An accurate name.
And it's got two bears, one on top of the other bears, you might imagine. And single dose, it does say 18 plus. Why is it? Explain this to me. You can buy gas station pills that contain, gas station potion in this case, chocolate syrup, that contains medicine in it, that contains something you're supposed to have a prescription for, and it has cartoons on it. But vapes can't use any kind of cartoons in them?
I think the argument is made that they were doing this on the fly against the will of the FDA, same thing as vapes would.
Across the board? Well, this is like a real Texas company that made it, though. Customers who believe they may have purchased the item that's true, are encouraged, some of them are made in the United States, are encouraged to contact their physician or healthcare provider. Lockout Supplements is notifying customers who may have purchased them. I have never heard of this stuff. Let me see. Can you just buy this online? It's all going to be stories about it being recalled now from the FDA, I would guess.
Radio DJ dies after trying Boner Bear.
Boner Bears syrup recalled for actually containing... Oh, here's the FDA post on their website for this. The FDA's actual website says all the same stuff, and it's got the packaging. It says 3 doses, fast-acting, max strength. I don't know how much this stuff sold for at a gas station, but instead of getting the stuff from your doctor, you could have just gone right to the little Quickie Mart on the corner and got your pills in chocolate syrup form. I am just amazed that there is a marketplace for this. These black beauties, these, what do people say, rhino pills or horny goat weed or stackers or whatever. I'm so amazed that there's such a solid crowd of you who have tried these things out before. I would be hesitant to ever try anything like that. Message over on Twitch. OMG, I took the rhino pill one time. I was at a stand for hours. She was on her period. That backfired on me so bad. I would never try it again. I had a headache and my heart was racing for 4 hours. LOL. My God, folks. I don't know why you guys take this, but if you do, if you have taken the pills or potion from the gas station, tell us what, why, and all the rest. Give us your stories. Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com or an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right, let's see what else we have. I did have the McDonald's update. I'll save that because it's such a hot gem. It's such a big major news story. I'll save that and keep it to the side. And we'll get to some of your feedback. Thank you for sending that in. Also, big thanks. Shout out to D Red Eye for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you for that. Go grab those while you can. The 5 gifted subscriptions to secret shows, and you can claim them with ease over on the website. It's right on top. Whenever somebody gifts some subscriptions, it's right on the top of thenewsjunkie.com, so grab yours right now. However, anonymous emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Several years ago, I trained to go to Kuwait for the same mission that those 4 deceased Army soldiers were supporting. Ultimately, I did not go because of family issues. Within the Army Reserve, Kuwait has long been almost a joke as compared with other locations like Syria or Djibouti. There's actually a Chili's on one of those bases, but there was always an awareness that if something went down with Iran, things would get hot very quickly. Very interesting, Anonymous. Thank you for the email. I appreciate that. You can join us as well, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Or record one of those dispatches I was talking about. Let me refresh to see what we have here. Here is Flip talking about their son is currently deployed. And this is all coming up because a woman was on TMZ saying that she's against the war and her husband who's deployed is against the war. And people were mad at her for saying this stuff. But here's Flip. Let's listen.
My app keeps crashing every time I go to send this. I have emailed as anonymous in the past, and I'm done doing that. My son is currently deployed over there.
Okay.
I'm not going to say exactly where, but currently his base has drone attacks and missile attacks upwards of a dozen or more times a day that get through the missile defense system. He is in a constant state of running back and forth to do his job and then running for the bunker and then going back out when they get it all clear to do his job for another 15 minutes and running back for the bunker.
Damn.
The first missiles that hit their base took out their chow hall, and they were out of food for 24 hours before they had MREs available to them. Him and his crew have not showered since this whole thing started, since before this whole thing started. Not that that's a big deal, but that does bring a little normalcy to your life when you're involved in all this.
No, of course. Like all of these things, this is a different world from just getting news alerts and stuff. And now being a parent where your son is over there, he's in Kuwait. You already know that this is a place where things can get deadly. And sure, that's a small issue, not being able to take a shower, but the alarms, all of the raids, all of the things where you've got to go run and hide to protect yourself, those are the things that add up to all of this. So I want to hear more from you. Let's go back to the dispatch.
And I don't believe this lady is speaking for people who have not already spoken up. She's probably in a few support groups like my family is. With people being deployed, and the overwhelming majority of the people that we've talked to are not happy with the explanations that we're getting as to why we're there. There's 50 different people saying 50 different reasons why we're there, and that's unacceptable. We truly support our troops and our families, and we also support the fact that Iranians should be free of dictatorship, and that beautiful country should be be available for people to go to whenever they please, and should be out of this, oppressive regime. So there's that. It's pretty difficult to hear all this back and forth with people when those of us who are able to FaceTime and WhatsApp our families, when you see them all of a sudden look up in the air, run for the bunkers as they're hanging up, yelling out that they love you as they're running.
Oh, damn. Heartbreaking.
I have very little tolerance for any of this stuff.
Thank you for the dispatch, Flip. That's a good dispatch.
An interesting perspective. That kind of changed how I feel about this lady's TMZ thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think these people should be able to speak out and say whatever they want to say. If you've got a kid over there, if you've got a husband over there, the idea that someone would hold you back from saying your opinion, but some idiot on Twitter can be like, I actually think that's the antithesis.
Who has nothing to lose from this?
No, nothing. No skin in the game, no nothing. Again, it doesn't sway me either way because something is either right or it is wrong. It is not right because somebody hits you with an emotional argument about it. It is either right or it is wrong, but it is right, in my estimation, to fight for people's ability to be able to say things like that. In another direction, here's G. Giddens with a dispatch. Hello?
Good morning, guys. Just want to know if y'all got a problem with U.S. sinking a battleship. Seems like you have a problem the way y'all talking. What's the issue? It's a war. You either sink us or we sink you. Have a great day. That's the way it goes.
Sounds like it's underwater.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, G. Giddens. Do I have a problem with people sinking ships in war? No. I think I said as much. I said either you get sunk or you sink somebody else when you're facing off in the ocean. I do think it's super interesting, which is why I went in that direction, that no battleship like that had been sunk in active war in, I think Sealand said 80 years or something.
Yeah, and then somebody, I think, corrected us and said that I've been seeing battleship everywhere. Somebody said that was a frigate. It was much smaller than an actual battleship. But I think they're missing the point.
Right. Well, it sounds like both of you guys are not pleased with it. So what's the deal with that, huh? God bless.
All right, let me see. This is from the BBC, and it says warship. It's thought 180 people were on board. Here's the name of it. It's called the Iris Dena, IRIS space DENA. So that's the ship in question that we were talking about. I called it a warship because that's what a lot of the reports had called it. But let's see if Rando Texter was the correct one on this.
It's a Mooj class frigate, so it is a frigate.
But is a frigate a warship? Is this person parsing words?
It is a type of warship, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that warship is still the correct.
I think he was saying battleship is the bigger one.
I was saying battleship much more so because sunk your battleship is a common phrase that people that use in the United States of America. Yeah, on account of the game and all that. That's why I'm saying the battleship front, but warship is more what I would use, I think, in a situation like that. Mostly because we're in the business of speaking to people. And just so you know, person who sent that text message in or anybody else who said this, the audience doesn't know what a frigate is. They don't have any clue what that is. So either you say it and then explain
frigate stupid.
But the best move is just to use words that people understand. Sunk the ship, sunk the warship, right? That is the best way to handle it, I think. But
they actually fired a bunch of loose lips at it.
Mm-hmm. Here's I regret to play this for you before I even hit play. But here's All Day Yuckers with a video dispatch. It says Sean has been practicing. Okay, hold on. I'll stop. Hang on. What am I wearing here?
You look like you're about to bust out. I have a structured settlement and I need class now.
I look like How to Train Your Dragon or something. I've got a shield. I've got long pigtails.
Or the result of Game of Thrones, brother and sister banging each other and having a baby.
Possibly. I have horns on my hat. I'm like a warrior of sorts.
Oh, the glory of the ancient.
I hate you. But it's your freedom of speech to be able to send in dispatches, I guess. Is that God, I hate defending freedom of speech. Not when it's attacking me.
Of the ancient.
I was the first part. The first part is me singing, and the second part, I don't know what that is, but there it goes.
Sean prides himself on never seeing commercials in his life, but me describing you as J.G. Wentworth from the Viking opera.
J.G. Wentworth.
Now. Yeah.
Spot
on.
Yeah. Do you have a comparison, or is it just in people's heads?
You would have to Google it so you could watch it yourself.
Okay, I'll watch it during the break and try to catch up. But
no, you won't.
Everybody else,
you're not
let your
not in a million years.
No, he's not going to do it.
He's going to forget about it immediately.
How to Train Your Viking? Yeah, sure. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. A lot of you have opinions on things we're talking about. That's one of the points of the show. We talk about everything happening, viral things that are on people's minds, and then you get to join in on the conversation. We also have the next episode coming up in just a bit. A California math teacher in big trouble. I'll tell you the questions that got this guy in hot water. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
There's a lot of lonely people in the world.
Oh, here we go.
A lot of lonely.
See, you've convinced this group chat that I'm lonely.
Well,
I was horny. That's why I was going after this girl.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Terminix.
Termite alert.
It is termite season in Florida, and swarms have been...
Hold up. Yuckers? Attention, yuckers. If you can by chance post that as a GIF and tag it appropriately in the Discord, because I used that thread on the Discord to get the animated GIFs for the Hall of Fame, because I think they're fun, and I think when people come to the stream, especially during a break, it's like a cool little sideshow. If you could add that over on Discord in that appropriate thread, I'd be greatly appreciated. If not, I understand. Hey Rage, how are you? What about my foot pick? No, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to make the donation of 10 gifted subs to be able to submit a photo for the Hall of Fame, and then I will put your foot on that. And I will put Bootsy over your foot. We'll put your foot. You can even wiggle your toes if you want to make it an animated GIF, and we'll put it in there. But that's going to be a 10 gifted subs kind of thing, where, just so you folks know, if you gift 10 subs, go to thenewsjunkie.com, the gift secret show subs, hit the gift icon. Afterwards, whether you gift 1 or 2 or 5 or 10, you can claim prizes. And one of the gifts / prizes that you can claim for gifting subs is for 10, you can get on the Hall of Fame. And you'll jump up onto the leaderboard here. Our latest gifter did not quite crack the top 10, but has made a big jump up there, which is really cool. Shouts out, by the way. Those gifted subs have already been claimed with a quickness. They were gifted again by D. Redeye. Thank you, D. Redeye, for the 5 gifted subs. All right, back in a couple minutes. So essentially, Sean is doing stuff for foot picks now? Kinda. Big thanks to everybody who watched the latest short video yesterday. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you watching and commenting on the short videos on YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. They are an explosively popular way to promote the show and bring more people into the funnel. And the latest one on Facebook is up to 359,000 views. By the way, in the last month on Facebook, over 12 million views. Wild stuff. On Instagram, 507,000 views on Instagram. YouTube, 25,000. YouTube has a little longer arc on how long the videos take to get attention. But lots of momentum across all platforms right now. And finally gaining subs on YouTube, which I got to tell you, call me a kid in a candy store, but I'm excited about that. One of my big goals is to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. In fact, I think that will be one of the benchmark things that sets me up for the future where I can be independent of any broadcasting company. So that's what all these strategies are for. And right now, the ships in my fleet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this, all rising. And it's thanks to you. Thank you for watching and commenting. 90 seconds and we're back. Secret shows subs for stubs. Video is blurry. Anybody else? Maybe give it a refresh. Should be okay, though. We are coming back right now. What happens is if your connection flops a little bit, it can often lower the quality for a second and then drive you back up. On YouTube, Tanya, you can look at that little icon on the side and you can see where you're at streaming-wise. It'll tell you if you're at like 480p or whatever. Look at the video quality. All right, here we go. Coming back.
Amazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Your entire sports feed all in one place with iHeartRadio from the pursuit of gold.
Jack Hughes wins it! The golden goal for the... By the way, we have an unbanned request. We have an unbanned request today.
To the dreams of the NFL Draft.
With the first pick.
You're one tap away. Open the iHeart app and stream your local station. Catch the latest on Fox Sports Radio or dive into the world's biggest sports podcasts. Search sports on iHeartRadio and lock in.
Radio.
He won't hesitate to call you out when you're being a little ASCII. This is the new.
Part of our lives, and we can be part of yours. That's what we do. It's fun to hang out with you, and all I want you to do is learn more about the show. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com right now. We'll get into this story about a teacher in trouble for some of the questions that they had on in a quiz, and I'll read the questions to you. You can tell me if you think they were bad or not. We'll get into that momentarily. But I've had a sort of a side quest going on here, where I've been very interested in the burger wars that have been drummed back up on accident. You know, before they were purposely going at each other, all of the burger companies going bananas. Now it's on accident, and it's run by a bunch of weirdos. Every company that you could imagine. McDonald's, their CEO, who makes $18 million a year, I hear, he can't even take a big bite of a burger. He takes such a small bite of a burger in the video that he made promoting the new McDonald's burger that it goes viral because he takes that like a little tiny little bite of a burger. And now McDonald's is kind of spiraling because this guy's weird and people think he's strange. And then the Burger King CEO, who pretended to give out his phone number but lied to everybody last week that we pointed out on the show, he came out and he's like, here's how you take a big bite of a burger. And he
surprised he had enough time to do that. His phone should have been ringing off the hook.
Yeah, really. Just with all those calls coming in, including from us. And now the heat is on. Like, this really has spun up into something that's getting some traction. Cleveland.com has an article today where they're crapping on the new McDonald's burger, the Big Arch. And they said, I tried McDonald's massive new Big Arch burger and stopped after 3 bites. How bad
three
could it
normal
be?
size bites
Good
or
question.
3
Good
CEO
question.
size bites?
3 little nibbles. Little tiny little nibbles. I want to hear from you real people. If you've tried this thing, is it good? Is it bad? Et cetera, because I don't care what somebody from a newspaper website says.
I will say that McDonald's, at least their marketing team, is kind of leaning into this unexpected PR.
Yeah.
Because on the McDonald's Facebook page yesterday, they just posted a thing, like a picture of the Big Arch, and it just says, take a bite of our new product.
Yeah.
And then they just let the comment section roll.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it. All right. You got it up.
They knew what they were getting into. They posted this new product that the CEO of McDonald's is going viral for because he took a little baby bite like a pussy out of this burger. Like, he doesn't like it. Like, he hates his own food. And instead of calling something a burger, he called it a product. McDonald's posted, take a bite of our new product, and then just posted a photo. And the replies are, number one, I see you, King. Report of the week, because he took an actual bite out of the burger when he tested it out. That's a reviewer that I actually salute and care about. He's out there somewhere. Report of the week, salute you, buddy. Immensely talented and skilled reviewer, probably the best out there, in my humble opinion. And everybody else doodles a cryptocurrency account.
On the Facebook, somebody commented, just a nibble, though, like the CEO, and McDonald's responded, no judgment here. Like, they're going through and responding to a bunch of it. Didn't he hold it weird? Because somebody said, I don't even know how to hold it. McDonald's said, like, 2 hands preferred.
Yeah, he held it like inverted and upside down. Like, this guy had never eaten a burger in his life. They're using the SpongeBob
like
memes.
a mobster smoking a cigarette and holding it weird.
Yeah, there's people photoshopping just a bite out of the bun. Like, you missed the burger entirely. The whole thing is a freeze frame of the tiny little bite. It's just so great. They're all viral because this guy is a weirdo who is in charge of their entire company. And Nickelback, look at this photograph meme. You know, everything's coming to the show. And they are surfacing more of the CEO of McDonald's, of his videos. Here he is another time talking about like product. He talks about burgers in a weird way. Bro, you make 18 mil to sell hamburgers. Here's how you do it. Guys, I'm the CEO of McDonald's. I love burgers. I'm going to try this juicy ass cheeseburger that we make. You take a big ass bite, you have a smile on your face, and you go, damn, that is a good cheeseburger. Talk like a normal person.
He's
okay?
an alien. I'm getting lizard vibes.
There's a lot of comments in the Facebook one about the word product. Like somebody said, when life gives you product, which I thought was kind of funny. But also the one that is a little annoying to see is the one where you turn the fact that he said product into a conspiracy. Case in point, Tateya says product means they can't officially call it a hamburger. Super scary.
Yeah, I see. All right.
You know, like when you spell chicken wings with a Y because there's no wing meat in it.
This guy is just weird. He makes a bunch of money being the CEO of McDonald's. Listen to how he talks about burgers. Here's another video.
Hey, everybody. We are here to do another spectacular McDonald's taste test. And I've got on my right here the classic McDonald's Big Mac, which you all know and love. I certainly love it. And then we have our chicken Big Mac, which has been on our menu before, and it's coming back to make a reappearance. So we're going to do a little comparison between the two, starting with, of course, the iconic.
Grab it like a normal person.
So here we go. First visual appeal is very strong. Looks fantastic.
First visual appeal. He looks like, have you ever seen people that use someone else's arms? And like through a sweater.
He does look like that. Like somebody's behind him putting the arms out. And
typically that's very funny. This is just scaring me a little bit.
This is weird. Talk like a normal person, man.
The visual appeal of the burgers in question is top-notch and very impressive to the human eye.
Wait to bite into it. The cheese is nice and tempered.
Tempered?
You get a great hit of Big Mac sauce in that. I tasted it. I loved it. The beef notes there, it all works so well together. It may be actually the perfect sandwich.
It's not a glass of wine, bro.
I'm pretty sure I had a roommate in my early 20s who would fart and say beef notes. Like, you don't say beef notes when you're eating a McDonald's burger. You say, good burger, yum. Talk to hungry Americans. Burger good, yum. All right, very basic stuff. Not
the hints of the beef notes are really, they're very.
Somebody says this guy eats fancy food 99% of the time. True. That's what we're learning here. Like, this guy's pretending to be a normie.
You know,
I think he gets spoon-fed. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. He sits down in a big CEO chair and.
Thank you, Mommy.
Here you go. Open up.
Chicken's now going to try to give it a run for the money. So let's try the chicken Big Mac and see how it compares.
Let's get them chicken notes.
Build. So you'll recognize we still have the 3 buns. We still have all the
beef notes,
lettuce and cheese, and
chicken
of course the McDonald's Big Mac sauce. But we now have 2 chicken patties. So let's give this a try.
Bigger bite than normal.
Really good. One of the things I did like about this chicken Big Mac is the crunchiness of the chicken. You get a crunch with this chicken Big Mac that you don't.
He just sounds like somebody teleported into a human body and they're day one trying to control it. Like Krang. Like, I don't know if that reference works for anybody, but does anybody know what Krang is?
He's like
it's
like Edgar. It's like it's Edgar, but in a suit, an Edgar suit.
Here's Krang. If you ever watched the series, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there was a character named Krang.
Yeah.
And he was a brain inside the body of a guy. And he had levers and stuff, and he would control the body, and he would the body would be abnormal and moving around weird. That's the guy who makes $18 million to be the CEO of McDonald's. Janine says, how is this even real? Is this even real? He sounds like he's been made in a laboratory. He's going to throw all of this up. I don't know. Sell the stock. Sell for now until we can get a human in there. Quick break. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, certified human being. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Oh, yeah. This week in Weird Full Circles, 1986, Brad Pitt gets replaced by Sebastian Bach. 40 years later, Dee Snider gets replaced by Sebastian Bach. Better late than never, mind? Rock Nation reveals viewership numbers of Super Bowl halftime show produced by Rock Nation. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. It's all about the fog this morning, but that's going to lead to a warm afternoon, a little bit higher humidity today. Our high temperature reaching 82 in Orlando, closer to 85, though, along the I-75 corridor. But at the beaches for Daytona's Bike Week, it'll be closer to 75.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. I like how I say Sabrina Certified Human. And thank you, yuckers. I appreciate that. I say Sabrina Certified Human, and then there's internet connection issues at HQ, and her webcam is like making her look not certified human. Anybody ever had any beef notes? Some beef notes. You could buy me McDonald's Big Arch and watch me nibble it later? True, I would like to see that. Who wouldn't? I'll add that new GIF to the Hall of Fame after the show. He's talking about that artificial beef. Like, doesn't it sound like, I hate to be gross, I know it's around lunchtime, doesn't it sound like your roommate would like lift a leg and fart and say beef notes? That's what comes to my mind. That's what comes to my mind. I prefer fish notes. Well, fish notes is obviously when a woman queefs and raises her leg and says fish notes. Am I right? That's where that comes from. Sorry if you're eating lunch. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we're back live on the show. Mr. Predicto, this one's on the house, baby. Is the CEO of McDonald's going to survive this particular controversy? Will he survive?
Highly doubtful.
Ooh, brutal for Mr. Beef Notes. He may not survive. Queefing and beefing. I am not naming the show that today. 90 seconds. Still got the California math teacher's inappropriate quiz questions. We'll go over them. You can be judgy. Tell me if you think the person should be fired. They're pretty funny. All right, we're coming back right now. And we're going to do the next episode. So hang tight. We'll see what's happening in the world of entertainment news. And then back to the action, baby.
Need an oil change?
This is all to distract from the Twister being back at KFC. Say what?
No appointment needed.
Is the Twister really back? Chat, Twister yes or Twister no? Do we support the Twister?
Oil change.
Quick, easy, drive starts here.
This is the biggest night in podcasting.
The countdown is on to our 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards. Live from South by Southwest, March 16th, we'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones. This is the news.
Hanging out with the three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. Forget the same three songs over and over. Let's hang out. Let's talk about whatever is happening here on the best reality show in history, Planet Earth. Thank you for being with us. Learn more about the show by going over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Lots on the way. I got to pay off the tease on that California math teacher. I'll read the questions that were on this particular quiz kids got, and you can tell me if this teacher should be fired. We'll all get judgy together. There was an election last night. We'll talk about some of the drama from that. We got more updates in Iran and everything happening there. And Misty Roberts, she's back on the show again in the second half. We'll see what's going on in the courtroom. Things are getting a little salacious there, but we'll tune into the drama. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about? Nothing. Nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey.
That last note?
They did it somehow. I said,
You said what?
I said, there's no way you can make that song kind of cool. I just don't think I gave you.
It goes on for so much longer too.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's
Keep
pretty
playing
good.
it. That's my next episode for the day.
That was pretty good, actually. We'll play it afterwards as a celebration. Go ahead.
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com and the Home Loans Radio Show. If you're refinancing, buying your first dream home, looking to compare your quote, so you're making sure you're not leaving money on the table, work with someone who's got your back, who's looking out for you and your family, and his name is Don. That Mortgage Guy Don, to be exact. So start that process today by going to his website, thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
And now it's in my head, and I was whistling it in the kitchen just now.
Same.
Perfect.
Earworm. 60 years ago, 1966, one of the members of this group right here.
Beatles. The Beatles.
Beatles is right. And it was on this day, John Lennon told the London Evening Standard that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. And war happened. It was very rude. And I think eventually the Pope forgave them. I think even one member of the Catholic Church, like a higher up, was like, technically they are more popular than Jesus right now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
that's not something you want to repeat to the Pope, like to his face.
Lennon did later clarify that he was not comparing the band to Christ in a divine sense, but rather pointing out the decline of religious influences among young, noting, "I am not anti-God. I was not knocking it."
Let's see Christ drop a revenge track, and then now we're talking. Like back and forth, they go at each other. Now that would be breakthrough.
Imagine you're in hell. That was all me. Bad Bunny.
Gonna have to keep imagining.
I don't know why this is coming out now. We stopped talking about the Bad Bunny crazy halftime show. So Rock Nation is like, hey, one more little tidbit. Almost a month later, right? It was the beginning of.
Might be exactly a month.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
According to Rock Nation, who co-produced the halftime show, Bad Bunny's halftime show set a new viewership record. They say it generated 4.157 billion views worldwide, within the first 24 hours across multiple platforms. That's the U.S. broadcast, international broadcast, YouTube, and other digital platforms. A breakdown of the calculation, not released, surprise, surprise, and it hasn't been independently verified, but we'll just take your word for it, huh? It's also worth mentioning that the world population is about 8.2 billion, so considering the math,
half the world
watched it. So, but it could include multiple views. But I'm just going to go with half the world. Why not? And half the world was wondering, is Jim Carrey a clone, or did he get plastic surgery, or was it that Alexis Stone person? And now a plastic surgeon that absolutely did not work on Jim Carrey's face is weighing in on Jim Carrey's face.
Okay.
Calling it a major surgical transformation and giving us a bit of a dollar to it, a price.
Is it possible that he just got a facelift? People get facelifts.
I think it's more than a facelift.
Yeah, you think so?
Fillers, different nose. Let's see what this guy says.
Is it one of those things where you go in and you go, give me the whole thing?
Yeah. Was
like,
that the mom one? The beautiful
the
mom?
mommy makeover?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is multiple things.
Yeah.
So that could be the same.
The little fat sucked away here and there, that kind of thing.
So according to this plastic surgeon that did not work on him but knows so much about plastic surgery, Jim Carrey got the following. Brow lift, upper eyelid surgery, a facelift, possibly fat transfer into the cheeks, and laser resurfacing for smoother skin.
Damn. He added fat to the cheeks.
Mm-hmm. I love fat cheeks. If that's what he had done, the total cost would be somewhere around how much money, gentlemen?
Oh, my God, that's got to be pretty expensive, right? I think this kind of plastic surgery is costly.
Brow lift, eyelid surgery, facelift, fat to the cheeks.
But you might get a deal.
Maybe
you get a package deal. I'm going to say $85,000.
I'm going to go $110K.
Well, bargain for you two, up to $60,000, depending on the type of facelift that was
chump
used.
change for Ace Ventura.
Not a quick recovery either. They say swelling can last for months, and the final results can take up to a full year to settle. So maybe that's why he looked crazy, but not a clone.
I always feel kind of bad for him. Didn't he have that crazy thing with his ex-girlfriend, Jim Carrey?
She killed herself.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that she took her own life. I thought, I could be wrong about this. I hope I'm not. I thought that she not only took her own life, but she mentioned him in her note that she left behind, and that's tough. That's tough stuff.
Also kind of tough, but in a completely different way. I want to be very clear. We have this story from Christina Applegate. She has a new memoir that's come out called You with the Sad Eyes, and it contains a very interesting admission. At one point in 1989, the VMAs to be exact, she went with Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
Then Brad Pitt was ditched for Sebastian Bach.
Rejected.
Love stings.
They were both still in their teens. She was the bigger star at the time, apparently. She said, I had spent all night staring at Bach, who was then a long-haired hunk fronting the band Skid Row. I hate to put it like this, but Brad back then was still making his way as an actor. He wasn't yet the Brad Pitt, so I ditched him and got with Sebastian.
Damn.
If you can do me a solid, 1989 Sebastian Bach picture. Was he a looker?
1980s. Yeah, he was the lead singer of...
Hottie guy?
He was a lead singer of Skid Row.
Yes.
So, a lot of people, my sister liked him. You know, this is what he looked like then. Long hair.
Oh, yeah.
This was back when they were kind of looking feminine in the 80s rockers. They had shorter shirts on and tight pants and rock and roll.
Second row, fourth picture.
That's
that hair.
Mm-hmm.
That is some... That takes work, man.
Very blown out, listeners. Very, very blown out look all over the place. Sort of a something about Mary all over kind of look.
While you're there, Sebastian
Looks
Bach
like Tina
today.
Turner.
Sebastian Bach 2026, please.
Okay,
While
Sebastian.
we're
Oh, what does he look like now? Sebastian Bach today?
Because full circle.
Hang on.
Wow, you're going to be seeing him because he has replaced Dee Snider.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like an older version of himself. But,
I think Brad Pitt has got it now, right?
Yeah.
Steve Brad Pitt.
He looks like a guy who tells me I rock and does the little thing, like the devil's horn with his
You're a rock
hand.
star.
And
Keep
then I
rocking
go, okay, people. All right. Settle down.
Well, he's not settling down. As a matter of fact, going on tour with Twisted Sister, several shows released this year, and he's on vocals because Dee Snider called it quits several weeks ago due to health issues. Looks like he had to take it. All right.
Yeah.
On the boob tube, we've got 3-hour Chicago crossover event. Also, the first season finale of The Beauty on FX, series premiere of America's Culinary Cup on CBS, Shark Tank,
Nice.
Young Sherlock on Amazon, and catch Steve Carell on Colbert. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambro, but most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. Let me hear that song.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Let's go here. Do a little clicky there.
All right, goes back. Wow.
How did they make that noise melodic?
Bass
The
drop.
robots, man. Oh, God.
Go back to the beginning.
Hang on.
Want the high one. I love it.
All right. Okay. If you missed the beginning of the show, that is my voice singing opera that was turned into a certified banger now.
Dubstep banger.
The original is raw. It needed work.
It got work.
Doesn't it kind of blow your mind, like when you hear a pop star singing and you used to be impressed, and now you hear my opera sound play the original? Yeah, that turned into
this.
Yeah. Takes away the magic of the music industry, I think.
A little bit.
Back with more in a second. All that, so much more coming up next on the News Junkies.
Daytona Bike Week is rolling into Daytona International Speedway now through March 8th. Experience all the action like the Daytona 200. Get tickets at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com or call 1-800-PIT-SHOP. Keep listening to win tickets and visit realradio.fm/contest to get signed up on our contest page.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call
Let's go, Mike. Welcome in. Chat. Quick poll. You will decide. Ready? You will decide. Should I post the Sean opera song on the website in its entirety? Should I post it on the website? MP Tree. Duh, put it on Spotify. Ba-da-da-da. All right, I'll put it after the show on the website. Make it an intro. It could be an intro for something. Give it a little backstory, you know what I mean? So people who listen to the show for a while be like, ah, I remember when. All right, I'll post that after the show. I need something to listen to at the gym tonight. It'll be my new ringtone. Nice. I like it. Okay. Did anybody at all? Oh, unban request? I'll get to that in a moment. Did anybody at all watch the election last night? Anybody? Anybody watch the election last night? Yes or no? Chat. Add it to your discount mix? Please do. An erection? No, the election. There was an election last night. This was the one that involved Stephen Colbert's show and Jasmine Crockett, and this was in Texas. There was an election in Texas that had some national attention because of the Stephen Colbert thing. And Stephen Colbert lifted the white man up and kicked Jasmine Crockett right out of the lead and pushed the candidate forward who ended up winning yesterday. I've got Jasmine Crockett's concession speech, which wasn't much of a concession speech, but it's kind of interesting to listen to. You got to hear it. You got to hear it. BDMX Con says, good results, got a couple of clowns out of federal office. Depends on your take. I mean, they kind of got the eye patch dude out of office, who was kind of a milquetoast Republican, honestly. What's his name? Dan Crenshaw. They got Crenshaw out. Who Crenshaw was like, Crenshaw hasn't been like the biggest Trump supporter or anything, which is why he didn't win. And the Trump supported candidate who was supported by the president did win that election. Crenshaw is out. He's out. I'm guessing he'll pop up in some media role at some point in time. But Jasmine Crockett lost. Now, that doesn't mean Jasmine Crockett's going anywhere. Jasmine Crockett is a member of the House of Representatives. She was trying to go for a Senate seat in Texas. But she was polling ahead by like double digits for a little while. This was her race to win. And then this guy came out of nowhere who was like, yeah, I'm just like her and I think Jesus is non-binary. So I'll tap into the religious side of things. And that guy won. He won. We'll get into some of the clips from this, which are pretty good. We do have an unban request, but it's not, I don't think the unban request is there yet. Because somebody reached out after being banned, but they didn't even know the reason why they were banned, which leads me to believe that there's like a behavioral issue there that they're not recognizing. I don't ban anybody for no reason. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. And when the person doesn't know the reason, I wonder if it behooves me to bring forward the unban request and release them back into the wild. So I don't know, I might keep that on ice for a hot second. I was banned for a joke says I was banned? Not in this case. I heard that's usually bad for incumbents. Well, what, midterms? Do Texans have to only vote in a primary for the party they're registered for? I don't know, they just changed the way the elections work. And they were trying to claim disenfranchisement in Texas because now you have like a place that you're supposed to go to, like your local election office is the one that you're supposed to cast a vote at. And they're like, you should just be able to go anywhere. And it's like, okay, it's more orderly if people go to the closest place that they're attached to. But, I mean, Democrats have taken to calling pretty much everything voter disenfranchisement. Getting a driver's license is disenfranchised. It's Jim Eagle. Forget Jim Crow 2.0. It's Jim Eagle to have a license. You need one to shovel snow in New York City and get paid by Mamdani, but you don't need one to vote if some people have their way. I think that's plenty fine and normal, and so do most regular-ass Americans. And if you have a particular polling spot that you're supposed to go to vote at, that seems fine too. Americans should be able to handle that. And if you can't handle that, I don't necessarily know that I want you voted. Too dumb to vote. TM. All right, here we go. Coming back.
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station guaranteed human. The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the new.
Most viral newsroom. Big thanks to everybody who has been watching these short videos that I've been doing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's helping to lift the boats and bring in more people to the News Junkie social media account. So I appreciate you doing that. I'll have another one out today after the show, and your comments and all that stuff is welcome. You can learn more about the show by going to the website, and there's lots of info there. I think after the show, we'll put the brand new banger song, the Sean Opera remix.
Entire commercial break, it was in my head, looped.
It's catchy. People asked for it, so we'll put it up on the website after the show here at some point in time before the day is over. There was an election last night. I don't know how many people watched it.
I did not vote.
You couldn't. It was in Texas. I do.
Oh, well, then I got plenty of text messages about it. I randomly get text messages from candidates in Texas. I don't know why. I got
I think you're
plenty.
The country
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody in Texas who's a fan of the show who's putting your number out there. Could be the case. We got a lot of fans in Texas, Dallas in particular, where we've been on a station there in the past. But they had an election, and the big one was Jasmine Crockett versus this Tallarico guy. Now, you might not know those names, but I'll make it make sense for you. And the Election HQ, as you just heard our Election HQ song playing here in the background. Jasmine Crockett, you probably know. She's a House of Representatives member. She was trying to go for the Senate, like an upgrade. She was trying to, one-up herself and power up to Senate level. She did not win. She was favored to win big time. Big time she was favored to win. And then this Tallarico guy came up, and he's sort of like a religious wokey type. I don't know. He said Jesus was non-binary one time, and then he got the attention of Stephen Colbert. He's the one who Stephen Colbert did the whole thing where he was like, the FCC won't let me interview this guy. And then he posted it on YouTube. And then the Tallarico campaign raised millions and millions of dollars off this whole thing. And Tallarico went around and was like, they're censoring me. They don't want you to hear me being interviewed. When the only point there was that, hey, maybe Jasmine Crockett should get some time too. But she went from being in the lead before a lot of that stuff in the latest polls to Tallarico winning by almost 10 points in what I'm looking at here.
Do you think that swayed it at all?
I think it doesn't hurt.
Controversy?
I think it doesn't hurt. I think it brings more eyeballs to it and get more attention. And then right now, people want a couple of things. One is if you're a Democrat, if somebody is a Democrat and they aren't completely and totally against ICE, those people are getting voted out because Democrats hate ICE at the moment. And the other one is if you're a Democrat and you can run under this theme that like the Trump administration is trying to censor you, it does bring in attention and possibly even votes. Would he have won otherwise? I don't know. We'll never know. I have no idea.
I think we do know that the controversy got a lot of money headed towards his campaign.
Mm-hmm. He made money off of it for sure, right? Because after that aired, and I also not aired because he posted it on YouTube. Stephen Colbert did the interview with this Tallarico guy, but afterwards, it also got a ton of views on YouTube. I don't know what that went up to, but I think it was a lot. Millions and millions and millions of people ended up watching it. And many of them were probably made aware of his campaign for the first time from that whole big explosive thing. So then comes in the thing I want to play for you, because I always find this to be interesting. When there's an election, you have the winner and the loser, obviously. And they both usually have events. They both have an event with a podium and a crowd, and they have snacks that they put out, and they might have some drinks, and it's a party, you know? DJ playing music, and they're watching the returns come in. And on one side, the party at the beginning stays a party. It's a party when you're walking in, you're like, yeah, let's see those results. Let's go. And you start partying, and then the results come in, and you're like, yeah, we won the election. You know, you're partying, right? But there has to be an other side. Somebody has to lose. The other side has to lose. So I always like to hear the losing side when they come up and address their crowd, because it's usually a little awkward and strange.
Which party do you think burns through more alcohol?
Oh, probably the losers. I depending on how long they stay there. But these people support these candidates, obviously. They show up, they want them to win, and you're like, damn it, man. They did all those phone calls in the election phone bank, and it was for nothing. And Jasmine Crockett came out, and she was not happy. She was not thrilled. Here she is.
So that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County.
Huh? I'll explain.
Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do. And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why.
So what she's saying, she's blaming Republicans for her winning against or losing against the Tallarico guy. There was some voting laws that changed in the Dallas area, I guess, which required people to go to the chosen precinct. So everybody has like a particular chosen precinct, and you have to go to that place to vote. And she is claiming that that is what affected her vote totals. Like people were going to the wrong place.
Was
and
that
they couldn't
not always
vote.
the thing?
No, a lot of places, some places will do open precincts, and some places will do, you got to go to your local precinct. And people are like, why can't you just vote anywhere? Well, the reason why they don't do that in a lot of places is because you don't want one place where there's a line that's 6 hours long and another place where there's a line that's 5 minutes long. You want to spread the load of people who are going to be voting on election day, which is hopefully a lot of people. You want to spread them evenly across these locations. So they say, you live here, you go to this precinct, you live here, you go to this precinct, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's pretty easy. Most people operate under these circumstances right now. That's what she's blaming for this. But she doesn't sound like she's conceding. Even though they can show the votes next to their pictures, and it says that she's got 44.8% of the vote, and the Tallarico guy, who Stephen Colbert likes, has 53.9%. She's not conceding.
So, I want you to enjoy yourselves, but I won't be back tonight because I have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow. So, I love y'all too.
A lot of people there.
Weird to see her say all that with all those losing scores on the screen.
I love you down, Dallas.
All right, so she comes out. She blames the Republicans for her loss. She says, I'm not like conceding. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to count the votes. Now, the vote total here, I don't know what it ended up at. It was 59% in, and it's less than 100,000 between the two. So things could shift. But at some point in time, they did call it for the Tallarico guy and said that he handily won the election against Jasmine Crockett. That doesn't even mean, by the way, that she disappears, because she's still a member of the House of Representatives. She was just trying to bump up her status a little bit and be in the United States Senate for Texas, and that didn't work out for her. On the other side of the coin, there was another election for the Republicans, and Dan Crenshaw lost. He lost the Texas House primary vote. Dan Crenshaw, you might know, he's the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah.
He's the only congressman that I think that I'm aware of that has an eye patch right now. So you might know him from that. He was a veteran, I believe. and he is not closely aligned with Trump and MAGA kind of stuff. And he lost to a guy who was. He lost to like one of Trump's people, one of the more MAGA people. So I'm not even sure what you take from reading the tea leaves of these elections. It's a primary, and there's probably not much to read from them. But that's what came out. Dan Crenshaw is out. He lost. And Steve Toth is in. Toth goes in. Crenshaw out. Crockett loses to Tallarico. And everybody can do with the results what they'd like. If you have any thoughts, send them over to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
There was another person that we were paying attention to that participated in this election who was running.
Who's that?
Vince Offer was in this election.
That's right.
The ShamWow guy.
Yeah. And he was mad because he wanted his name on the ballot. I think he's suing over this.
He's suing the GOP.
Yeah, he's suing the Republicans because he wanted his name on the ballot to be Vince ShamWow, whatever his last name is. Offer. He wanted that to be on the ballot so that the name recognition would be, ShamWow guy, vote for that. And he didn't get that.
He tweeted his Twitter name or X, excuse me, the handle the @ is real ShamWow guy. But the name that's above it is ShamWow Shlomi, which so weird. And he said, suing the GOP Texas for deleting my nickname ShamWow in the primaries so they help the incumbent John Carter so the voters don't recognize me. Rigged election by these rhinos.
Bro, the people who would vote based on ShamWow or not ShamWow are not people I want to have the right to vote to begin with. They're like the people who vote and they do things and you go, that's what swayed your vote? Some of these people, I want to fully rescind the voting. I want to reel them back in if they voted that way.
Do you call them rhinos as in the animal? Because
rhino.
He's not spelling it RINO like a Republican in name only. He put RHINOS.
Oh, really? Did he? He spelled it correctly like the animal?
Yeah.
Rhino is what they use to talk down to people who aren't Republican enough. It's Republican in name only, RINO, instead of how he posted it, which Sealand is saying is RHINO.
Like short for rhinoceros.
Like the thing that's up for auction that Jim Carrey crawled out of the butt of, the rhinoceros.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people posting about that.
Wait,
I think I might fetch some money.
Was that a hippo or a rhino?
A rhino.
Rhino, I think. And my favorite part is all of the posts that I see going viral on that prop. That Sabrina talked about this Hollywood auction, and there's a lot of things that are up there. And one of the things that I found in the auction was the rhino that Jim Carrey crawls out of. Like he crawls out of the butt of the rhino in Ace Ventura. And people keep posting this, and they're like, need help convincing my financial advisor that this is a smart purchase for me. And guys, is this too big for my living room with more of a modern vibe going on right now?
They're calling it the butt birth rhino.
That's great. Rock on YouTube says, didn't the ShamWow guy do something weird in the news?
With hookers, I think.
Yeah. Arnott says he bit a hooker. Yeah, he did. He got into a fight with a hooker at his hotel room. And he seems like not a great dude, honestly. I don't know why I should be surprised necessarily, but the ShamWow guy's mad because he couldn't put ShamWow on the actual ballot, and he thinks that's what would have swayed things.
So let's say they did let him do it. Could he have sued them because it's a trademark that he owns or copyright?
He does own the trademark. Yeah, he wanted that. He wanted that on the ballot. But they said, we're not doing it because it's not your official name.
Now, neither is Vince Offer. His name is Offer Vince Shlomi.
Well, hold on. I think if you change your legal name, did he change his legal name?
He must have.
Because if he changed his legal name to Vince ShamWow, whatever, I think they would have to put that on the ballot.
Which
I might be wrong.
Believe is what Bubba the Love Sponge did.
Right. I think that you could do that. But can you interview him? Oh God! What interest is that? God, politicians
do it.
Politicians are dumb and scummy enough to begin with. Like, I want to bring. Oh no! What am I going to win out of them?
A lot of ShamWows.
I don't think ShamWows are big anymore, are they? Do people still use them?
I don't know. It was just a chamois cloth, right?
Yeah, it's not. The people bought a lot of them back in the day. Though.
It would be hilarious if he made this big stink about wanting, to be able to be recognized for his previous work. on the ballot, and he's like, "No, I have to have this on the ballot." And then he opens the ballot, and it says Vince slap chop offer.
All right, good enough. Good enough. We'll put it in there. All right, here's the thing I teased earlier. I said a California math teacher is in trouble. And I'm going to read you the questions that this California math teacher had on his quiz. Now, it's California, so maybe they're just freaking out about nothing over there. They're weird. You go to California, and it makes you weird. All right? It happens to people. They go to Los Angeles, phew, they change, and all of a sudden they speak differently and stuff, and they have like a different accent. It happens. Maybe that's happening here. Or maybe this teacher went too far. We will judge. Everybody get your judging hats on. Let's go through it. Here it is. KTLA has the story. A teacher at an elite high school in San Francisco, so this guy's in San Francisco, has been placed on indefinite leave. What did he do? After allegations of sexist and fat-shaming questions included on 9th grade Algebra 1 quizzes. Fat-shaming in algebra, how are you... Like
seems more of a geometry kind of thing to me.
No, I could see it like Stacy ate 13 little Debbies, but and then the rest, I wasn't good at math.
All right, I got the questions here. Let's see. It says parents were informed of the allegations on Monday afternoon by the principal of Lowell High School, John Batista, whose message stated that teacher Tom Chan, it's an Asian guy, Tom Chan, a veteran educator that's worked at the school for more than 20 years, quote, needed to go on leave, unquote, for an unknown amount of time. According to the outlet, some of the questions on the class quiz last month were framed around taking somebody out on a Valentine's Day date. That's not so bad. I could see that. It's like maybe Valentine's Day is coming up, and you go, or you past or whatever, and you go, are questions going to be around that on our math quiz? Here's one of the questions that got him in trouble. The amount of money you spend on a date varies inversely to how much they weigh. A typical girl that weighs 120 pounds will cost you $55, the math problem reportedly read. Students were then directed to first derive the variation equation and then asked how much they could expect on a date with Ashley, who's 220 pounds. So basically, like, if you're with a 120-pound woman, it costs $55. But so if a woman weighs 225 pounds, how much does this beefalo cost you for the Valentine's Day date? A third prompt asked students to calculate how much their date would need to weigh if they could only afford to spend $5.
This is a very hard math problem.
No, it's not. Let's see. Typical girl that weighs 120 pounds will cost you $55. So was that
all right?
120 divided by 55?
Also, typical girl, 120, please.
That's
120 is pretty thin.
What is that? 2.18. All right. So we do that. What times 225?
Yeah.
All right.
220.
The
220-pound girl costs you more, obviously, but how much is the question?
I think I did it wrong.
If I eyeballed
it is hard.
If I eyeballed it, I'd say $100.
Yeah, I did something wrong.
Wow, he's using a calculator. If I got it right without the calculator, I'm saying $100 and change. That's what I think it is, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll bring that up. And also, there was the other one said you could only afford to spend $5. So wouldn't that girl only be 2 pounds?
What did you say? You said $100?
I think you're going out for coffee then.
I have 99. You were a buck off.
Look, not bad. Huh? The brain comes through. Oh, God, it gets worse, actually. Hold on. Worse than the 2-pound girl that you would need for the Valentine's Day day. And another question, allegedly titled, Mr. Chan versus the Fat Kid, Part 2. The math teacher wrote, the fat kid from last time wouldn't be quiet about the candy I was eating in front of him, so I punted him into the air. This is the question on the quiz.
What's wrong with this teacher?
The 9th graders were then instructed to solve equations for height and time, along with a seemingly unrelated question, asking them when the last time was that they gave candy to a fat kid.
All right, I may be messing this up, but if you only had $5, you better have an 11-pound date.
All right, that's a pretty skinny person right there. Other questions were, how tall are you and how much do you weigh, followed by pretty or smart and why. Apparently, one of the students was upset about this because, of course they were. Let us know what you think. Should the teacher be fired for the questions? Send in an email or dispatch, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or record your dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Quick Quick break. We're back in a moment. We got a lot more to get to. Updates on the big story, what's happening in Iran and the response to all of that. And then in jury duty, Misty Roberts returns to the show. What's happening in her court case right now? I want you to hear this. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI edits itself. We double down. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive.
Skull mic activated. Welcome behind the scenes of the show.
This report is sponsored by NobleGoldInvestments.com. The stock market can't go up forever. What's your plan for what comes next? If you don't have an answer, Noble Gold Investments can help. Noble Gold helps investors protect their portfolios with physical gold and silver. Download your free wealth protection kit at NobleGoldInvestments.com.
All right. Today learning is all set. How are we? Beefalo is a term of endearment? Well, of course. Chat, what do you think? Now is your time to be judgmental. Fire the teacher or save the teacher? Fire the teacher or save the teacher, chat. You heard the questions that were on the quiz. Let's say your kid was in the classroom. Fire the teacher or save the teacher? What do you think? I'm a good person. Shaped like a garden gnome? David says save the teacher. Save the teacher. Teacher probably needs to have a discussion. Firing them would be an overreaction. Save the teacher. Save, it's harmless. Save the teacher winning so far. What will happen here is probably like the outrage stuff will win, especially because it's San Francisco, California. And in the battle for victimization, the victimization Olympics, the Asian guy gets a couple of points, but he doesn't get as many points as outraged fat parents. So outraged fat parents are going to overwhelm the Asian guy. And he'll have to, all right, have to bow his way out of it. I think the outraged fat parents will win. In all reality, in a normal world, they should go, hey, do you mind maybe keeping the math problems a little more innocuous and milquetoast than this? Let's not bring controversy into the math class. If you want to have fun, find another way to do it. Now get back to the class, Mr. Asian Man, and teach the kids how to do the maths. That's probably a better outcome, right? For everybody. The kids get the teacher to stay around. Everything is fine. The teacher adjusts a little bit. But it's San Francisco, so the fat, outraged people will probably win. I bet they had fun doing the math, says JK. Give them a raise. Yeah. Give them a raise. I don't think you want to do that. You give them a raise and you set things up for future failures. That's no good. 90 seconds and we're back live. And then in jury duty, we will, of course, have the update on this Misty lady, Misty Roberts. Her son caught her having sex with his 16-year-old friend in the pool. The court case is on. The trial has been explosive. So we'll go into the trial itself today in jury duty. All right, we're coming back right now. Let's do it. Coming back.
And easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
I'm Anna Navarro, and on my new podcast, Bleep with Anna Navarro, I'm talking to the people closest to the biggest issues happening in your community and around the world. This week, I'm joined by investigative journalist Julie K. Brown.
The Justice Department, through, I think we counted 4 presidential administrations, failed these victims.
Listen to Bleep with Anna Navarro on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Bleep with Anna Navarro and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the news.
So good to see you. So good to have you on board. Don't listen to the same 3 songs over and over and over again. Hang out with us here in the world's most viral newsroom. Let's have some fun, get weird, maybe a little controversial from time to time. Find out what's going on in the show over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. I got some pretty interesting stuff I think we can get into on the Iran front. If you're not tuned into that, don't freak out. I'm always going to try to hit you from a different perspective or viral angle on this. But before we talk about that, I have to share with you one of those stories that's just like an unbelievable story. Like, it seems so crazy that it couldn't be real. But it is. Like, this is a legitimate 100% real story. And it's about a guy by the name of Jerry or Gary. I think it's probably Gary. Gerry would be a Gary, right? Gerry?
That was the... Okay.
Gary? I mean, Jerry, I would think, would be either J-E-R or, something like that. But maybe.
I knew a Gary that had E-R-R-Y.
Okay, Gary Goldberg is what we're going to call him for now. And Gary Goldberg is 82 years old. 82 years old.
Mm.
This guy fell in love with this woman, and Andy was her name. And they were together for a very long time, like the perfect example of a couple and how 2 people can really grow with each other over a long period of time. As you can tell from the way I'm talking, this doesn't stay this way. There are some twists and turns in the story of Gary Goldberg's life. So Gary Goldberg is hanging out one day, and his wife leaves, and she drives to go get something done. And when his wife leaves, he doesn't hear back from her. And Gary goes, what the hell? She left a long time ago. She wasn't going that far. Where is she? And it turns out that there was a very dangerous intersection in town. And eventually, Gary got the call that his wife, the love of his life, had died in a car accident. And they told him, you got to get over here. And we need to make sure that everything's taken care of. And he said, okay, and put everything down. And Gary went over there, went to the scene, and he immediately realized, geez, it's amazing this hasn't happened many, many more times. This is an incredibly dangerous intersection. He said, all I want is for my local officials, the politicians who pretend to do stuff for the people, all I want is for them to step up and do something in my wife's memory, put a traffic light at this very dangerous intersection. That's what he wanted out of this. Honor my wife, honor her memory, make it so this doesn't happen to anybody else in the future by taking this dangerous intersection where my wife died in 2024 and making it safer for everybody else. Now I'll bring to you the update on this story after telling you the narrative and the background of this, because otherwise you probably wouldn't have believed it. Here's the story from 9 News. It says, man dies in crash at intersection where he petitioned for traffic light after his wife's death. Gary or Jerry, we'll never know, we'll know when I play the story in a second, who fought to get a traffic light installed at the intersection where his wife was killed in 2024, died on Monday in a car crash at the same place. The same place. The guy, all he wanted when his wife died, all he wanted was a traffic light. This is how demonic and evil politicians are. This is how bad they are. They wouldn't give the 80-year-old guy a traffic light at the intersection where his wife died, which was obviously dangerous. This is how demonic and evil.
It wasn't just
these
the politicians. It wasn't just them.
Can be.
Some of the neighbors argued against it, contending it's not needed and adding a light would lead to increased traffic on residential streets.
How are they feeling right now, C-Lane? How the neighbors feeling about this? All this guy wanted was a stoplight. And there's so many like beautiful photos of him and his wife. Let's watch the story from Channel 9 News here.
And I went into the restaurant and he wasn't there. I tried to call him. I tried to text him.
This is somebody who noticed he was gone.
No answer at all.
Cousin, I think.
And he never showed. And I went home with a very empty feeling that something was askew because that was not like him.
Gloria was waiting for her cousin, Jerry Goldberg. If he looks familiar, it may be because of his fight to get a traffic light erected at the intersection of East Bellevue and South Franklin.
Jesus, they interviewed this guy before he was on TV. He was begging the politicians, please focus on something other than viral clips for a second, you politicians. Can we please make everybody a little safer? My wife died at this intersection. Do you care even a little bit? And they didn't do it, no.
The intersection where his wife, Andy, was hit by a car and killed in May 2024.
Due to the death of Andy, I've been thinking of how much it means to me going forward.
Here he is.
That nothing like this ever happens again.
By the way, Fishbulb over on YouTube says he wanted to prove a point. Are we sure it was an accident? I mean, you think he just like pulled his car out and like waited for somebody to hit him so it would happen again?
You know, a traffic light with a camera on it would determine.
Yeah, probably. Let's see what else they say.
Jerry spoke to us last fall about a petition drive he started hoping to get a traffic light installed.
And it would give me a great deal of resolve for closure in the loss of my wife.
Monday, as he drove to meet Gloria for lunch, Jerry was in a car crash at Bellevue and
they show the car. The entire side of the car is completely smashed in this intersection. He's right at this very same intersection where his wife died, right here, and now it's him. Now he's the person.
The very same intersection where his wife was killed.
Jesus,
Jerry
man.
died.
It's almost like science fiction.
It was Monday evening that Gloria got the call from Jerry's sister telling her what had happened.
I was in shock. Of course, I couldn't sleep all night because it was just unimaginable.
My God, I can't believe this. And now I want to say justice for Jerry. I want to say, for God's sake, can we do it now? But I think some of these people will still be too stubborn. Now they'll feel like they're admitting guilt that they didn't do something beforehand. Or they'll be like, it's not going to happen 3 times. All right, it's not going to happen again. Remember these stories. These are the things that politics was really created to fix. This is the kind of thing where we have people dealing with people. We have to interact with each other. We have to have rules and laws. We have to have order. And we have to have safety for people. Those are sort of the prerequisites of an actual society. Pretend it's a Sim City game and you're the boss in charge. And
well, that's easy to make traffic lights in Sim City. I just
hit the button. Click, 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 click. No one hit the button here, C-Lane. Nobody did it. And this guy died at the very same intersection as his wife did in 2024.
I can't help but think a little bit about what that chatter said.
Like he just waited there? Nothing to suggest that from the stories I'm seeing.
I feel like unless it was unavoidable, if I lost my wife at an intersection, I probably wouldn't go through that intersection very often.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Yeah, it's true. I probably would try to stay away. He launched a petition aimed at having lights erected at the intersection. He was on his way to meet his cousin for lunch. He was involved in a 2-vehicle collision, and his wife died in that very same intersection. And they even have the story about like the petition, like the original story where this guy was like, hey, hold on. Oh my God. Are they going to have, Jesus, they have the actual.
This morning, a man in Colorado.
This was the
lost
original
his wife
report.
last year, she was hit and killed by a car while jogging near their home. Now he is turning his grief into action and demanding safety changes at the intersection of Bellevue and Franklin.
No one
Transportation
listened.
Specialist Brianna Fernandez talked to neighbors about what changes they want to see.
Oh no, is a neighbor going to come on and be like, no, hell no. It'll never happen again. How are the neighbors going to look here?
So people who live in this neighborhood, they've been asking for years for a traffic light, but you can see that those requests have gone nowhere. If you take a look at your screen, you can get a better idea of where Bellevue and Franklin is located. This is just west of I-25, in between two busy intersections.
2 lanes on either side.
And Broadway. Back in May of 2024, Jerry Goldberg and his wife Andy left the house for their usual morning workout. Jerry rode his bike, and at the time, Andy was training for a half marathon. They took 2 different routes that morning. As Jerry was wrapping up his workout for the morning, he noticed police activity near their home. After not hearing from Andy, he tracked her phone, and it pinged right here at this intersection. Andy was hit and killed by a car.
Oh my God, it shows her Jeep, and it's just absolutely and totally mangled. Or maybe this was the Jeep that like hit her or something.
Very bad car accidents.
Yeah.
How
both
many
of them
more
are,
like that until somebody does make a move about the lights? Isn't that obvious at this point?
I
Or you
think
really
it
have to
should
have
be.
a petition?
It's not like there was a little tiny fender bender and they were old and they died. It was like a really bad accident, like a really bad car accident that happened to start this all out. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts. Send a dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, we're going to have those updates I talked about in the Misty Roberts case. What happened? This has been going on in court. What did her son do? Her son was mad because he caught her, Misty Roberts, the mayor of this town, at one point in time. Her son caught her in the pool having sex with his friend. The case just wrapped up after explosive headlines everywhere yesterday. What happened in court? We're going to talk about that in jury duty. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes. Just to get an idea here, how many of you believe the conspiracy theory that you think this guy set this up on purpose? Anybody other than our original chatter? How many think this was a conspiracy and he set this up? Stuff like this happens all the time. I think it just happens to be a terrible tragedy. That's what it seems like to me. No, 38.6%. I think he's just very old and likely a poor driver. No, you don't think it's a conspiracy? I think it's just one of those stories. That's what it is. And I'd be willing to bet a dime and a dollar that in this case, the local officials were occupied with some things that had nothing to do with positive outcomes for the residents. Some other dumb drama had their time occupied at the time. And this guy's like, can I just get a stoplight? It's a dangerous intersection. My wife died. And now, rip that dude. That's so crazy. Final Destination. Somebody says, Final Destination got it. Jury duty coming up in just a moment, everybody. How you doing? Everybody good? Stream good? YouTube? Stream good? Twitch? Nan says, no conspiracy, just happened. Nan's right. I think. Unfortunately, these kind of things just happen. And people are so bored with like the local parks and rec type politics. Most people don't care about them at all. And that is the thing that has more of an impact on your life than anything. You're out there with a sign at like whatever the protest du jour is. No to war in Iran. You're out there about this. And in so many cases, it's like, This is the problem. Couple minutes and we're back live. Jay Servant says, looks like the walls and trees limit your vision on the side of the road. People will probably fly down the multi-lane road. We've all seen streets like that, right? Like we all know that one turn or that one intersection where there's a lot of accidents. There was a horror movie like this. Anybody seen it? What was it called? The Curve or something like that. And it was about a guy who, his family bought this beautiful house, and the house was on like the curve of a road where people would drive pretty fast. And he loved it, and his family was out there, and then people just keep crashing. They keep crashing outside of his house. It was a horror movie. It was good, though. It was interesting. And we all have sort of a spot like that in our neighborhood somewhere, a dangerous place. I know what you did last summer? No, that's not it. Cyclone Ranger says this show helps me forget there's a war going on. Well, we talk about the war. Sometimes we talk about Iran. You know, I've talked about Iran multiple times today. I have another entire segment coming up on Iran. But I don't think you actually want to hear 4 hours of Iran, do you? Are you looking for that? I don't think you're looking for that. I give you the things you need to know. And I've got some interesting stuff coming up right after jury duty in the final hour of the show. Not Butt Boy. You sure it wasn't a news report? No. Hang on. Movie, people live on curve road where cars keep crashing. Sharp Corner is the name of the movie I'm talking about. Sharp Corner 2024. And it's about this guy and his family, and he buys this beautiful house and this property. And the byline is this, or the synopsis is, a dedicated family man becomes obsessed with saving the lives of the car accident victims on the sharp corner in front of his house, an obsession that could cost him everything. It was okay. That's my review. It was okay. Pet Cemetery was similar? Really? That was a compliment, Watson? I'll take it then. I'll take it and appreciate it. But I do have some Iran stuff coming up in the final hour, so we'll see what we make of that. All right, 90 seconds and we're back live. Guys in chat, be honest with me here. Final question for you right now. Misty Roberts. You know the story. She got caught having sex with her son's 16-year-old friend in the pool. They had this whole orchestrated lie. She was the mayor. If you met her on the streets, after knowing all of this, she hasn't been sentenced yet. Would you guys? Yes or no? That's my question. If you met Misty Roberts on the street, would you? Smash. Next question. Smash. Next question. No? Misty Roberts isn't a porn name? That's impressive. I'm kind of amazed. I would have thought that would have been a thing. All right, here we go. Double date with Casey Anthony. All right, here we go.
Terms do apply. Contractors and homeowners installing a metal roof? Don't leave money on the table. Register your Tri-County Metals Factory Direct Rebate for up to $500 back at TriCountyMetals.com.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit HeadquarterHyundai.com.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
The latest on this Misty Roberts lady, believe it or not. More Misties on the show. Same one, really, in this case, but an update on her case in the courtroom where things were going sideways yesterday. What's happening there? We're going to find out together in just a moment. We're going to get into your emails, your dispatches, all the rest. You can email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, TIPS @thenewsjunkie.com. It's pretty easy for you to do, or at least it should be. Oh, huge thanks to DJ Rage, by the way, for the 10 gifted subs. DJ Rage gifting 10 subscriptions to secret shows. You can nab those while you can over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. What a guy, DJ Rage. Thank you so much for that. Folks, take a dive into the world of secret shows. Claim those while they're available on the website at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, there is one place for you to go. It's the guy that you know from this show. It's the guy that you trust. It's the guy who's going to throw an amazing mini Masters tournament when the weather is a little bit clearer in a couple of weeks here. But right now, he's the guy who's going to help you after your accident. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, actually, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. All right, let's see what we have here. The update in the Misty Roberts case. For those of you who didn't tune in yesterday, Misty Roberts is the woman who, she was the mayor for a little while. And then she was caught having sex with her son's friend in a pool. And the most amazing thing about a story like this is I can still go to you guys. And all you guys, some of you guys are just warped, other than DJ Rage. DJ Rage, not warped, but all the rest of you are just warped. Because I'll say, if Misty Roberts came up to you tonight and said, you want to go home with me? Would you say yes or no? And like 70% of you guys are like, yep. Will, would. I can fix her.
Good looking lady?
She's an attractive lady. She has no need to find her son's 16-year-old friend to sleep with him. She could find somebody on her own with ease. Courtney, after the show the other day, was like, she looks like the porn version of a woman next door. Like she's a pretty blonde lady who could get a guy.
Exactly.
So many times the guy that they go for is the 16-year-old friend of the son. What the hell's going on here? And you guys would still do her. I don't know. That's very weird to me. Let's instead see what happened in the courtroom for this case when she was the mayor of DeRidder, where this went down in Louisiana. And let's see what happened. Here we go.
Breaking news tonight. A jury just found former DeRidder Mayor Misty Roberts guilty on both charges. Good evening. I'm Cynthia Arsenault. The jury deliberated for around an hour before finding Roberts guilty of indecent behavior with a juvenile and carnal knowledge of a juvenile.
Carnal knowledge. That is an old-ass law.
What does that even entail? Carnal knowledge of a juvenile? Is this sex offender list stuff? Because it sure sounds like it.
I mean, this is the first time I've heard her charges described as such. I read third-degree rape.
So it's an archaic legal term.
Yeah.
Sexual intercourse, specifically referring to unlawful acts, sexual assault, statutory rape.
This is the carnal one?
Yes.
Okay.
But the first word after is N. When it says archaic, doesn't that mean we've retired it already? Or is that just that small of a town?
I mean, they're just implying that this is like old law, I guess. Like this is like the 1900s, 1800s, you would have this, and they'd be like, "You're on trial for carnal law with a minor," and you know, they do the whole pomp and circumstance thing. And now this lady got charged with it here in 2026. But I mean, obviously, what she did was wrong. I can't. Why isn't it just? Didn't they just used to call this like
statutory rape?
Yeah, I guess statutory rape.
I think this term predates that.
Really?
And like I said, where I've read it, like let me go back to the New York Post here because I'm pretty sure that the New York Post has like 8 different stories about this woman.
I know they've been going
when
nuts.
there's only really 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have really tried to juice this thing for as much as possible, but I didn't read carnal knowledge in any of these.
Okay, let's see what else they say here because they're getting into the jury in the case.
KPLC's Devin Cruz has been following the trial for us and joins us now from the courthouse.
By the way,
next to a generator.
The falling hole over on chat says, does it matter what the pedo looks like? Yeah, it does for that point because there are a lot of guys, if it's a good-looking woman, they will look past this stuff. And I always find that so weird. I'm like, this is why, guys, if you're a young man listening to this show, one key piece of advice that I will tell you, that I tell my son, that I would tell anybody who's a young man in the dating world with an ear. Stay away from BPD women, from BPD girls. The women, young women with borderline personality disorder, run in the other direction as fast as you possibly can. Don't say, I'm going to give it a chance. Don't say, I'm excited. It's like, you know, sometimes when I'm around here, there's fireworks. BPD girls, run the other way from them. Run the other way because it's always going to explode like this. But so many guys, if they're attractive, will be like, well, I mean, I can fix her. I'll give her another chance here. Every time it's going to end in failure. Don't tell me, but the sex is so good, you weirdos in chat. Never stick it in crazy. Yeah, that is a better idea. Okay,
I'm wrong. It did say 2 charges of carnal knowledge of a juvenile and indecent behavior with a juvenile. I thought I saw 3rd-degree rape somewhere, but honestly, that could be just a different teacher story. Or it could be anything.
I'll play a little more of this. Let's see what else we got.
That's right, Cynthia. We did hear today 2 guilty verdicts come out of the jury for felony carnal knowledge and felony indecent behavior with a juvenile. After that verdict was read, emotions came out in the courtroom. The victim's mother began crying. She was asked to leave. And then Misty Roberts began sobbing.
The victim's mother began crying and they asked her to leave?
Yeah, get out of here, bitch. What are you crying about? Is going to die of high fives after this. The mom of the 16-year-old started crying. The mom who said, "Did you get pregnant?" And the woman, Misty Roberts, at the center of all this, door-dashed a plan B so that she could take it and make sure she wasn't going to get pregnant with this 16-year-old. That woman started crying in the courtroom. And as a result, they booted her out. All right, I'm going to save the rest of this for the final hour of the show. I do have updates on the war in Iran and some reaction to it, especially what happened behind closed doors yesterday. Some interesting stuff there and a bunch of clips I got to play. So all of that is coming up in the power hour, the final hour of the show. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Daylight savings time starts this weekend, so you'll have to blame something other than seasonal affective disorder for your shitty mood. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road at 535. But
big movement on the leaderboard for Secret Show subs. DJ Rage! 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Go grab those while you can. Stand by. All right, stand by. Stand by. Sorry, lots of stuff going on at once. One of them days. Okay. Hello. Skull mic activated. Welcome behind the scenes. Facebook, YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome behind the scenes. YouTube, twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Good to have you around. I see AJ Soup on the board. Angel, Sport, Vicky, Yuckers. Hey, everybody. It's time to usher ourselves into the final hour of the show. The Power Hour has arrived. I went to wear a shirt yesterday on the show, and the shirt was about maybe this long. And Courtney said you can't wear a long shirt like that. Long shirts are dumb. It makes you look like a slob. Don't wear a long shirt. I just kind of sat there for a moment and I thought, I have probably done that a lot of times. I didn't know. I knew that. Like, I have a problem a lot of times with the back of the shirt being a little too high. But this shirt, it was too long, and I put it on, and I was like, oh, at least this shirt fits great. Can't wear those ones. Back in 1 minute. All right, here we go. We're coming back. Take a look at that scoreboard. DJ Rage rising up. All right, here we go.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, please, God, no.
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
What's your case worth? Injury.com by Morgan & Morgan.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
On a Wednesday, it's called the Power Hour. We got a lot to work in this Power Hour in just a little bit of time. So let's go on a ride together here. Learn more about the show. Get the podcast if you want to catch everything you missed over at thenewsjunkie.com. We've been talking the last couple of days about this Misty Roberts story, and Sealand is very right about this story because some of the outlets covering it, the New York Post was definitely one of them, where they just went kind of wall to wall.
Yeah. And I'm really surprised that I didn't read in the New York Post what I just read from KPLC, the TV station. Is that the one you're watching right now? 7?
7 KPLC. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
They did a whole report about the victim's testimony in court. Because the victim took the stand.
This is the 16-year-old. This woman who was the mayor of this town in Louisiana was busted by her son having sex with his 16-year-old friend in the pool. And that's the victim that was, I guess, speaking in court here.
Now, he had already done one of those interviews with the Children's Advocacy Center. Not even that hard of a word, bud. He told jurors he was truthful during the CAC interview, which they played for the jury. And then they kind of went through the whole night with him.
Okay.
And said, he showed up to the party. They told him he could get drinks from the fridge. They're like, yeah, it's for all of us. It was a party that, and I think they said in earlier testimony that Misty Roberts had kind of asked her kids or, what alcohol they want to get for this party.
I'm a cool mom.
And she was pretty drunk by the time the victim arrived, and he was trying to catch up, and that's why he ended up throwing up from drinking.
All right.
And then he goes through the flirting and stuff, and they were kissing by the pool.
Did they name him?
No, they haven't named it. They don't name the victim.
Because he's 16, right?
Yeah.
It's just all the details. Interesting.
Right.
Without the name.
And then
everybody locally knows, though, you would imagine.
Oh, it gets into that. So he asked if they could go upstairs, and she agreed. And then they go through the sex part, and he said he was dizzy because he was drunk. And there was alleged that one of the kids at the party might have gotten some video of it, but nobody has come forward with the video. But they said they saw a phone in a window or something like that.
No, they were recording this mom, the mayor of the town. They were recording her having sex with the son's 16-year-old friend.
That's on Snapchat for sure.
May have been, may not have been. I think that one of the kids said, I put my phone up, I held my phone up to the window, but I don't know if I hit record. And the cops never got any video of it. But they were planning on not telling anybody. And the next day, the victim's sister called him and said, hey, it's getting out there, right? So he told his parents, who told him the only part that was his fault was getting that drunk, which makes sense. He also called his girlfriend, who broke up with him because he cheated.
Oh, damn. He's going through it, huh?
And so then this is where I was like, oh, gosh, this is getting crazy. The girlfriend immediately gets a new boyfriend who was her old boyfriend, her ex before him. She goes back to her ex, and now the victim thinks that her ex is the one that told everybody about it.
Really? Oh, so the 16-year-old who this mayor mom was having sex with in the pool thinks that his girlfriend's ex is the one that blew the whistle on the relationship so he could get back with his ex-girlfriend, which was actually successful.
He said that.
High School Musical.
He said that. He said, but he couldn't be sure that was the case. And the defense asked, you were becoming kind of famous. The victim replied, unfortunately, correct. The defense pressed him on the breakup with his girlfriend, and he clarified that she had broken up with him. He also confirmed he told both his parents and prosecutors that that things came...
What?
The plan B might have been needed, is the best way I could say that. Yeah.
Well, then I think a good pool clean as well.
So he crossed the finish line.
Correct.
Okay.
And the jury was shown text messages from the victim's phone. This is where I went, oh my, okay. Text messages
Ryan
from the victim's phone.
Ryan on YouTube says, this town is exhausting.
And ripe for a TV show.
Not a lot to do in DeRitter. The jury was shown text messages from the victim's phone, verified by the same technical forensic investigator the state called to prove other text messages were real. In these text messages, the new boyfriend wrote that he knew everything. He used an expletive and a racial slur, doesn't say which ones. And then he wrote, this is what he wrote to the victim. Couldn't tap that ex-girlfriend name redacted. So you got to tap the mayor, right? The victim replied, low-key, kind of disrespectful, but I tapped that too.
Oh, wow. A little insight into being 16 in 2026, huh? Low-key.
God. Somebody in chat says victim in quotes. And I mean, it's such a weird, interesting dynamic in these kind of stories because I don't know how he was portraying himself on the stand, but
he said that it was his idea to go upstairs.
Yeah,
he was like, all right, let's stop making out in the pool. Let's bring this somewhere else.
This doesn't make her not in the wrong. She's 100% in the wrong. She's a predator. It's disgusting. He's 16. He's a kid, for God's sake. You're an attractive woman. You could get a guy on your own. Not that should matter. You just can't be with kids, okay? It's an easy thing to avoid your whole life. Don't have sex with kids, okay? And yet she does it, so she's a monster. But for him, like, he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. His mother started crying in the courtroom, and
I can't believe they kicked her out.
Yeah, they kicked her out of the courtroom. Sorry if you're just tuning in and you didn't hear any of this. This is like a whiplash.
It's juicy, guys.
The story, I know, is like a whiplash, but here's some more from this report from KPLC.
That's right, Cynthia. We did hear today 2 guilty verdicts come out of the jury for felony carnal knowledge and felony indecent behavior with a juvenile. After that verdict was read, emotions came out in the courtroom. The victim's mother began crying. She was asked to leave. And then Misty Roberts began sobbing. Ultimately, also, lawyers after that happened began discussing what was going to happen with her sentencing. We know that sentencing date is April 7th.
So she got to walk away. She just got to walk away from the courtroom after being found guilty.
Out on bond, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're waiting for her sentencing, so she's free right now.
18th of this year. We also know that Roberts was accused of having sex with a teen at a 2024 pool party while she was mayor, and today there was more shocking testimony from the teen at the center of the trial. He took the stand today and described in detail what he says happened the night of the alleged incident. He testified Roberts was really drunk and he'd also been drinking heavily. He then told jurors they had sex. He testified that afterwards he realized what was happening. He claims Roberts and her son got into a fight in which she allegedly said, "Go fight your friend. He's the one who did it."
Yeah, that's another part.
My God.
So the son and the mom get in a fight because the mom had sex with his 16-year-old friend.
Don't be mad at me.
Party.
Your friend is the one that banged me.
And she
Never
goes,
in a million years.
"Don't fight with me. Fight with him. He's the one who banged me."
Lie or die, baby.
My God. Holy
After
cow.
closing arguments, the jury deliberated for under an hour. Now, just as we wrapped up court today and we got that date for that hearing, April 17th at 9 a.m., there was issues that came up in court. Ultimately, the judge at first said that she was going to be taken back into custody and set at a $100,000 bond, but the defense team argued that there's some sort of stipulation with her original bond that may make it to where she does not have to be taken into custody.
Oh, buddy.
They're in court right now discussing.
Technicality.
I came outside just to tell you guys about this.
She got out on a technicality because of an earlier deal that they made, and she was released. For those of you asking questions, is she still the mayor, says Ted. No, she is not the mayor of DeRidder of Louisiana anymore.
Mayor of Pound Town.
She was the mayor of Pound Town for that particular night. She is currently a free woman until at least her April 17th sentencing date. And it says carnal knowledge carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, while indecent behavior carries a sentence of up to 7 years.
And registered sex offender?
Yes. Yeah, she'll be required to register as a tier 1 sex offender.
Now, part of being a registered sex offender, you cannot be around children. Does that change if you have children?
I believe it does.
What do you mean? Like
her son lives with her, right? Or no?
She would be able to see her own kids still.
Yeah, but if she carries up to 17 years in prison. So if her son,
sorry,
just trying to. Okay.
That's a good point, Elaine.
Thank you. If she does do a couple years in prison, likely her kid will be of age. Now she has multiple kids. But, by the time she gets out of prison, that might not be an issue.
Roberts is accused.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
What did Elaine just say, Sean?
What did
he say?
He said a lot of stuff. It was important. It was good. Two videos started playing at the same time. I don't know where it came from.
Crazy KPLC.
Take away his drop slinger privileges.
No, don't take away. I need drop slinger to play the audio for the show. I need that now. I'm kind of relying on it. All right. There we go. Give us your comments.
Thank you for your commentary, Celine. I appreciated your take.
Misty Roberts. What do we think is an appropriate sentence for Misty Roberts? What do we think time behind bars? We know she's going to be registered as a sex offender. With everything considered, this woman is a mother who had a party and got all her son's 16-year-old friends drunk, had sex with one of them at the party. People were aware of it and like filming it through the window and all of that stuff. And she's been found guilty of the carnal knowledge and whatever the other charge was. How long? What would be a sentence that was fair in this situation? Because I mean, it's one of these stories where I mean, she could face a long time behind bars. She could get a slap on the wrist. You never know. But
I would have to compare because we've seen teachers who don't get any jail time. We've seen teachers who have gone multiple years, even a decade.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
depends.
10 years.
10 years?
I was going to say 3.
Okay, I'll go with 5.
No, you can go with whatever you want. There's no
All
right
right,
or wrong
7.
answer.
Final answer, 7.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just what you think is a fair punishment for somebody. MFQ says, I know somebody who got 10 years, but for her, I think it should be more. 15 years?
Knowingly did it. And then even the back and forth that we've heard about with the text messages and conversations, I'm not hearing any remorse.
1 week in the boys' prison? Come on, you guys. It's definitely going to be a movie about this. 3 to 5 years. I think that this is one of those things where if it wasn't an attractive blonde woman and it was some like gnarly looking troll fat guy with like moles on his face with hair coming out.
We did have a story yesterday where the person in question was a little less attractive than the person we're talking about now, and the person the student in question, maybe that was the one that was third-degree rape. The student in question actually told her to get off at one point. Not in the fun way, not in the
Well, the 16-year-old was, flirting back, admitted that he was the one that came up with the idea versus other cases in which there's grooming, and it's not the other party, though, underage and cannot technically consent.
I think that should be factored in, though. I do.
The fact that he escalated?
The fact that not only did he escalate it, but he's like dropping jokes on text messages with his friends afterwards.
Tap that,
Yeah, I think that it shows the state of mind that he has. And his mom might be crying, and I could see why his mom would be upset and all of those things. But I can tell you, being somebody who was a 16-year-old boy, if I lived through exactly these same circumstances, I would have come out on the other side, and most 16-year-old boys would. Fine. I wouldn't come out like he's ruined and mentally damaged for the rest of his life. No, he got drunk at a party like so many 16-year-olds do. He
banged a mom.
He banged a mom. He got involved in a legendary story. He'll probably be the equivalent of, who's the guy who takes his shirt off all the time and tells the same story?
Bert
Kreischer.
Yeah. He'll probably be like a Bert Kreischer in 15 years or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the recent news of Bert?
No, what's recent? I don't know.
It's starting to make the rounds on social media, but apparently at one point there was a joke or a discussion either in the news show that he does or on the podcast that, was it weird that he became aroused when his kid was sitting on his lap?
That is pretty weird. That's Curb Your Enthusiasm levels of weird, and only Larry David can usually get away with that stuff.
Sorry to deter, but that's now all I can think of with the shirt off as well.
Have not seen his show. It's not really my cup of tea necessarily, but all right, let us know what you think. What's the fair punishment? We want to hear from you before the Power Hour wraps up on the show. Give us your thoughts with a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com or tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get into some of that feedback that's coming up next. Also, I want to tell you about a bus driver from hell, and those Iran updates will be next. Everything going on there, including there was a closed-door meeting, and I've got the reaction from people after they came out of this closed-door meeting. I want to talk about whether you believe them or not and what we think about this. I'll play those, and we'll get into everything else as the Power Hour rolls on. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
What's going on? I hope your drive right now is a smooth one, and it should be on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Looks like no major incident in your way. Of course, your usual delay, I-4 eastbound, approaching both World Drive and State Road 535, but westbound is clear. East and westbound of the 408 as well. North and southbound lanes of the Turnpike, as well as the Greenway and 429 toll. If you have any incident to report, call our Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line number 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Birthday 2026 is coming soon, and if you want to head there in style, well, here's what you do. You go.
Hello. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you, YouTube and Twitch. Hope you're doing well. If I was in this situation at this age with a few different teachers, I would be on the stand pleading on their behalf. Everything does come down to the details and the circumstances, because there could be something with a 30 or 40 something year old teacher and a 16-year-old student where I was like, this is absolutely abusive and is going to bother these people for the rest of their lives, and the person is even more of a predator and they should spend even more time behind bars. But then there's every once in a while just the right set of circumstances where you go, 16 or not, I think this person knew what they were doing. And while still a crime, if I was a juror and I had this decision to make, my choice of the sentence would be a little less based on those circumstances. Deets and Cirques, true. 10 years, she'll get out early anyways, community service for 5 more years. I'll make a note and we'll revisit it when the sentencing comes out. Iran update coming up next. The drummer in my high school band was banging the hot English teacher. We prayed for that kind of thing. I distinctly remember a party. We're all hanging out, and there was word at that time that one of the students, who was like kind of a cool kid, was having sex with one of the teachers. And everybody at the party was talking about it. And they're like, oh, word got out. Like, yeah, it's happening. And I don't recall, I don't think the teacher ever got in trouble. I think the rumor stayed with the students and didn't escape that. But definitely, we knew that this 16, 17-year-old at the time was banging one of the students, or banging one of the teachers. 5 years hard labor in a bordello without pay. Yikes. Okay, we're back in just a couple of minutes. You know you have to weigh in at 16-year-olds are not capable of making a rational decision. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because whether or not you think... Let me try to explain this. So it's possible for a 16-year-old to make what you would consider a rational decision. And the 16-year-old may go, I am mature far beyond my years. I am well aware of all of the things that will happen as a result of me making this decision. And I want to bang the mayor. I know what I'm doing. I'm completely aware of it. And I'm fine with that decision moving through my life and into adulthood. I think that 16-year-olds can be capable of making some decisions like that. But it doesn't matter, because it's illegal. So there could be a 16-year-old that is just like head over heels in love with a 38-year-old. And they know what they're doing, and they're rational, and they absolutely want to do this. It doesn't matter. It's illegal. You can't have sex with a kid as an adult. You cannot do it. It's a good law. It's a good one. I support it. So it only matters, I think, for sentencing, personally. 10 out of 10 mayors that are at 10? My God. 90 seconds and we're coming back, folks. Big thanks again to DJ Rage. Grab those subs if they're still available. The mayor moved the age of consent down. Oh my God. Don't forget, I'm going to put the song up on the website after the show, okay? Here we go.
Find wherever weed killers are sold.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast. Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Your entire sports feed all in one place with iHeartRadio from the pursuit of gold.
Jack Hughes wins it! The golden goal for the United States!
To the bracket busting in March.
I thought it was spectacular.
From the first pitch in spring training.
Ohtani tees off!
To the dreams of the NFL Draft.
With the first pick.
You're one tap away. Open the iHeart app and stream your local station. Catch the latest on Fox Sports Radio or dive into the world's biggest sports podcasts. Search sports on iHeartRadio and lock in.
Radio, no group on no. Radio, 104.1.
Stand by. Hang on.
Waiting.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay.
I'm calling user error.
We're good. Ready? Coming back now.
Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics. It's the News Junkie.
Buttons. I hit it every way possible. I don't know what happened.
Nice.
All right, we're back. We've got more things to get into in the Power Hour. Gas prices, I'm sure, just soaring as we're speaking today. Let's see how things are going on the stock market with this whole war in Iran thing going on out there. Well, the Dow doesn't seem to be reacting in too negatively a way. It's up today, at least. It's been down. The Dow is up 255 points at 48,756. It's kind of funny that one lady said, the Dow is at 50,000. And so now when the Dow isn't at 50,000, it's like I always think of that woman saying.
Have we followed up on the Epstein question that she was supposed to answer when she was screaming about the Dow?
Not sure, but it seems to matter now because the Dow isn't at 50,000. We're at 48,756, at least for the moment. Let's get into some updates on the Iran situation. Here's what's happening. There's a war going on. We're bombing the hell out of Iran. I think they talked about it at a press conference earlier. Let me see if I can bring up that clip where the White House press secretary was like, we are annihilating them. We are just blowing them away, which is probably true. And it looks like Iran was one of those paper tigers you hear about where they talk tough. I mean, not long before this, the leader, the supreme leader of Iran, when talking about negotiating with the United States of America, was like, death to America. If you come at us, We will stomp you out. We will kill you all like cockroaches. And he was over the top in saying, if you mess with Iran, you will get the heat of 1,000 fires. The end of 1,000,000 blades at your neck. And after all of that, it's like, well, maybe not.
Well, and
maybe
then
not.
After that, the woman who was reporting on the Ayatollah's death on like the state-run television channel that was threatening the president of the United States, saying how he was going to pay for it. She said specifically he was going to pay for it in a way that no president has ever paid before.
Right.
And I was like, presidents have gotten shot to death. What is the way that he's going to pay like no other president has paid before?
Blow him up.
Double shot.
Smithereens.
Here it is. Here is the press secretary at the White House talking about how things are going in Iran. Here, and then I'll bring you behind closed doors.
Under the leadership of President Donald J. Trump, the rogue Iranian terrorist regime is being absolutely crushed. 47 years of tolerating and enabling the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism are over. Iran's murderous terrorist leaders are paying for their crimes against America, and they are paying in blood.
Message coming in. They're paying in blood, she said at the White House. And what did she say? Absolutely. What? Hold on, let me bring it back.
Of President Donald J. Trump, the rogue Iranian terrorist regime is being absolutely crushed.
Absolutely crushed. That's what's happening over there.
Hammer time.
Now, there was there was a big meeting, and I'll bring you into the response after that big meeting, but a couple other clips I have on Iran. One, this was a wacky one, very weird. A mysterious shortwave radio station has popped up. Over time, these have been used to send secret messages around. See, find the Wikipedia on these. What are the shortwave like secret radio stations called?
Ham?
No. Look up shortwave secret military radio station. Find the Wikipedia. It's there's a name for them, but I can't think of it right now. Code station? I don't know, something like that. And you go to these shortwave stations and you hear this mystery message.
Talking about the buzzer?
No.
Number stations?
Number stations. That's it. Hold that. Hold the number stations wiki up if you have that. And here's one of them because this just popped up coming out of Iran. This is it.
Oh, that's weird.
All right, so there's this long string of letters. Those are letters in Arabic or whatever. I guess Arabic might be the written language. Farsi, maybe, that they're giving out here on this frequency. And it's either a message being beamed into Iran for like people in the government who are going to try to topple the government, or out of Iran for a message for for their secret ops who are all over the world. You never know what these are. You have no idea what these actually are. They're called, what are they called again?
Number stations.
Number station. What's the wiki say on that? Because they're kind of interesting.
The shortwave radio station. And it's, why is that funny?
You said radio station.
shortwave radio station.
You said radio, but that's okay. That's all right. That's okay.
Go on, princess.
He was trying to listen to himself.
Characterized by broadcasts of formatted numbers, which are believed to be addressed to intelligence officers operating in foreign countries.
Foreign countries?
Most identified stations use speech synthesis to vocalize the numbers. That's kind of what we heard.
Yeah.
Although digital modes such as phase shifting keying and frequency shift keying, as well as Morse code transmissions, are not uncommon.
The one that I was reading about yesterday, I may or may not have been in the bathroom. This is what I take in the bathroom.
Curtain back down.
Atención is the one that I was reading about, where they talk about the station in Cuba that became the world's first number station to be officially and publicly accused of transmitting to spies. It was the centerpiece of a United States federal court espionage trial following the arrest of the WASP network of Cuban spies in 1998. The U.S. prosecutors claimed they were using this shortwave radio station that was just like the one you just heard coming out of Iran now with this war going on, and they were writing down number codes received from Atención using Sony handheld shortwave receivers. and typing the numbers into laptop computers that would decode the spying instructions. Some of the messages that were gathered were like, prioritize and continue to strengthen the friendship with Joe and Dennis. Under no circumstances should agents German nor Castro fly with BTTR or any other organizations on days 24, 25, 26, and 27. That's a CIA-affiliated group, the BTTR. Congratulate all the female comrades for International Day of the Woman. They would give them all these names, and they would give them instructions and stuff. And that's what happens on these number stations. And now there's one just blasting in Iran after all of this.
Sounds so creepy. Immediately reminded me of Long Legs. For some reason, just that scratchy.
Yeah, the fact that it's not like a clear signal makes it much more nefarious sounding. Meanwhile, here's another clip. I'm working through some of these here. This one was on CNN where I guess all hell broke loose. They thought they were going to get hit with a rocket in the middle of a broadcast. Here's CNN.
Things coming in, so we are going to just unmic. Dan, why don't you take the mic off?
And then go downstairs?
Yep, I'm going to show you exactly.
Just run with a mic at this point.
That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, really. That's pretty dramatic. Pull it out and run.
There we go. We're just going to get onto this camera. All right. And
are you kidding me? Is she going to keep the interview going? She's got another mic now. I think she might be keeping the interview going.
Me, Dan, you can just
air raid sirens going off.
Okay.
This is in Tel Aviv, Israel. All right.
Guys, start breaking down the equipment if you can, please.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep going.
All right, I'm going to just move slowly here while Dan's coming with me.
Dan?
Okay.
Is he about to jump?
And we're going to move. So you hear the sirens now, and this is all around the area that we're in Tel Aviv. So that initial warning, it was about, I think, 5 or 6 minutes, Dan?
5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
They're not freaking out as much as I would be.
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, this could be fire from Lebanon as well, from the Iranian instructed Hezbollah, which is part of the Iranian regime strategy of what's called survival warfare.
Yeah, I don't think I could keep the interview.
It's a Barbara Walters pace when she does that B-roll and they walk along a lake. But there's bombs headed their way.
Like, Sean, are you crapping your pants right now? Yeah, yep, I am. I'm not going to be able to string together any good sentences for you here.
I'm not Yes, I am. No,
yeah,
now it's happening.
Yeah, it's going right now.
As much missiles coming from Lebanon. It could be the Houthis in Yemen. We don't know. But this is the Iranian regime survival strategy.
Yeah, if you wait long enough, you can read the pieces of the bomb left over.
Distract the world's attention away from the Iranian front itself.
All right, there you go. They're in the middle of the live shot. They end up doing the interview as they're going away to stay in one of these, these secure areas.
You go to commercial break and
go to the bomb shelter, I guess, for the duration of that. But they stayed on. Here's another one making the rounds. 5 million views. This was Trump being asked who should be Iran's new leader. Here he goes.
Do you have someone in mind right now? Because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody.
So he said, who's going to be the next leader? Well, we had somebody in mind, but they all
dead.
died.
He does really like to put a big emphasis on the word dead.
Dead. And then they said, then we had a second round of people, but now they may be all dead because they were going to determine who was going to be the next leader of Iran, and then they bombed that meeting as well. Things looking pretty dire if you look at what Iran is doing output-wise. On Saturday in Israel, there were 176 warning sirens like the one you just heard. On Sunday, it went from 176 to 105. On Monday, it dropped to just 42 sirens. On Tuesday, it was down to 37 sirens. That means there are less missiles incoming into Israel. That's the big target here. And less coming from Iran, less coming from any of Iran's actual allies, and less in the stockpile that Iran actually has. And they've been releasing stuff like this, 2.3 million views, this video of an Iranian missile hitting a U.S. ship. All right. Problem with this, the U.S. ship in question is, they said, the Soyuz missile is the missile that they fired, and the Yamato, The Yamato, I guess, sank in April of 1945. So this was not legitimate from the Iranians. They did not actually shoot down one of our ships.
And the name of the missile that they used in this video was a space carrier?
Yeah. I think they were lying a little bit on that particular one. Speaking of lions, I see this. Speaking of lying, I should say. Speaking of lying, I see this everywhere today, and they're saying, look, the Israelis are bombing fake fighter jets that are just etched into the ground. Like they made a giant fighter jet into the land, and they thought that they were bombing an actual fighter jet, but instead it was like the equivalent of like going into a field and making one of those alien type messages or whatever, the crop circles. But on the ground, on planet Earth, they made a gigantic thing that looks like it's a plane, and they said the Israelis were bombing this. This is old footage, so it's not new, but it's making the rounds right now. There's another one where it's like, they thought they were bombing a helicopter, but it wasn't really a helicopter. It was just they made something on the ground that looked like a helicopter if you were flying over with radar. These are from, I think, 2025, June 16th. They're from the 12-day war, June 16th, but they're making the rounds. As is the story, which was going mega viral yesterday, where they said the three jets, the three F-15s that were shot down accidentally in Kuwait were $300 million, which is more than Doge saved. But that was incorrect. Doge,
my God, so much fake news.
Doge saved a lot more than that, but it would have been like kind of a catchy thing. That's why it went viral. People were like, all the money we saved in Doge, we just lost because there was 3 U.S. fighters that were accidentally shot down by the Kuwaitis, so we wasted more money. That was not true. That was not accurate, but it did show up everywhere. Just in case you see that. That, my friends, is what we call fake news. Yes, indeed. All right, now you know. Now you know. Back in a moment with the closed door clips that I have. Also, I'll try to get to this bus driver story that I teased, and then everything else to wrap up the show for a Wednesday. That is all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
Last cigarette, one before I go to bed.
Real Music Weekends. A Classic Alternative.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
We are continuing to watch out for a couple of sprinkles as this onshore flow off the Atlantic continues. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist TJ Springer. Anything that develops through our Wednesday evening should fizzle out later on tonight with temperatures falling back into the lower to middle 60s. Above normal, watching out for a little patchy fog once again. Now, our Thursday rain chances do come up just a little bit, watching out for a few showers and thunderstorms, especially west of Orlando, as highs top out above average in the low to mid 80s. From the Fox 35 Storm Center, I'm meteorologist TJ Springer.
This report is sponsored by Blind.
All right, folks. Uh-huh.
Rates are improving, and that makes the terms even more favorable. Want to find out how it works? Go to thatmortgageguydon.com, and Don will give you some numbers and explain the details. And then you decide if
Breaking news! Breaking news! In the Nancy Guthrie case, before we get to rate the show, in the Nancy Guthrie case, Sheriff Nanos confirms that DNA found on a glove 2.5 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home was traced back to a restaurant employee who works nearby and is unrelated to her abduction. All right? So, to be clear, in the search for the gloves from the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie, they found dozens of gloves. Most of those gloves were from the people who were doing a search mission in the area and threw off their gloves into the ground, littered. The one that they thought was a really good lead to find where Nancy Guthrie was in fact a restaurant worker who had just taken off his restaurant glove, thrown it on the ground 2.5 miles away. The leads are evaporating. Hope is fading. I hate to say it, but it's true. It's time to rate the show. Rate the show out of 10. 10 out of 10 is a winner. I roll it over to the Hall of Fame. No notes needed. 1 out of 10, or 0 out of 10 even, is a complete loser. Rate the show. 10 out of 10 fake Doge numbers. Stand by. Keep them coming in. All right. 9 Boner Bear balloon shoes out of 10. 10 out of 10 beef notes. My God. 8 out of 10, very funny. 6, 7. 25 more subs out of 10. This madman better not have done it. We've got 10 out of 10 throwing stuff out my car window and then getting my DNA off it is a son of a bitch. He did. Sun State John with 25 gifted subs. You madman. Hang on. Stand by. Stand by. Just updated the scoreboard. That should display in just a moment. 25 subs. Thank you, Sun State John. Holds down the leaderboard. What a beast, Tanya is right. What a beast. Sun State Moneybags. Tap the brakes. Let the others catch up a little bit. Let them pull the heavy weight for a little bit here. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a plug on the way back here. And you're the chatter of the day, too. You and DJ Rage. Double chatter of the day. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit HeadquarterHyundai.com.
Broadcasting live from the world's most dysfunctional think tank. This is the news.
The cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you missed any of the show, get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, a lot to do and a little bit of time on the way out. First things first, big thanks to Sun State John. Again, he's on top of the gifted scoreboard. He just gifted 25 subs.
This guy doesn't know when to quit.
I know, he's out of control. Let somebody else carry the weight for a little while. I also have to add this now while I'm thinking. AJ Soup donated another secret show. Thank you so much, AJ Soup. Love her. She's the best. Really, really a fantastic human being. Claim those now, right now. If you're listening to the show and you've ever wanted to open the world of secret shows, get the ad-free stream, get all the huge back catalog of uncensored shows, just scroll down to secret shows. You'll see where they are there. But on top of the website, when these are active, somebody asked yesterday, it just says free gift subscriptions available. Claim now. And you click it and you just hit claim and then boom, you got access just like that. Grab them while you can.
I just
thanks to
claimed one.
Sun State John. How dare you? Don't do that.
I didn't do it.
All right. I don't have a lot of time left. How much can I work in? I can't get to these clips that I was going to play.
Can you basically put them on, 1.5 speed?
No, I'm going to save that. I mean, we'll talk about, we'll do updates on Iran tomorrow and I'll work those in. Also, the South Park writer set up some website, hashtag send Barron, to try to get Barron Trump sent over to Iran. He wanted to get him sent over there, and that's something that's happening. I saw that out there. And let's do the final dispatches because I want to work some in here.
These are the final dispatches,
right.
but Sean will probably only play one.
Okay. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Maybe, maybe not. Let me refresh what's going on with our dispatches and play a couple. Here's, it's a very long dispatch from Warrior. I'm sure it's super interesting. I'll read it afterwards. I'll listen to it afterwards. I don't have time for it.
No, you won't.
Here is I Smell It. Hello?
Sean, News Junkie Sabrina, Ceiling, what's up? Love the show. I just want to tell you, Sean, I've been watching your shorts. They've been coming across my YouTube Shorts algorithm, and
he's cutting out, but he says he likes the short videos I'm posting. He absolutely loves them. They've been coming across through the algorithm. Thank you. I appreciate that. Those have been going very well, and it's because of your support. Here's Gator.
My daughter is going into the military, and she knows that there's a chance that she could lose her life, but that's what she's signing up for. But the reason we're in Iran is blatantly obvious. If they get nuclear missiles at any point, they will shoot them at our ships, at us, at nearby countries. It's obvious. Anybody that says, well, I need to know why we're over there, you need to get a clue, because once they get nuclear capabilities, they will use them immediately to destroy Israel, us, our troops, our bases. Anybody they can attack, they will use them.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate lots of opinions on that topic for sure. And you can interact with the rest of them if you'd like over at thenewsjunkie.com. Click dispatches and you can see what everybody said. The story that didn't make the cut today, the bus driver, a Montgomery County bus driver in Pennsylvania. Officials have issued an arrest warrant for the bus driver after they say the person drove a bus filled with children while having a blood alcohol level 4 times the legal limit.
Oh, wow.
Kelly Weber, 46, charged with driving under the influence, 54 counts of endangering the welfare of children.
Damn, they threw the book at her.
She had an open 750 of Tito's vodka, 2 empty 50 ml bottles of Tito's vodka, and a receipt from Fine Wine and Good Spirits for 9:22 a.m. on the bus. For all
this is not
her
first time driving those kids drunk.
I don't think so. She had a .331 alcohol level. That's a lot. .331 is real steep. And then her THC level was a 6.6, but I don't know what the hell that means.
I've never heard a measurement for THC level.
THC level 6.6. What does that mean?
I mean, it's pretty high.
Or she got one of those seltzers?
I'll ask TNJAI on the way out. If I had a THC level of 6.6, what does that mean? Like how many ounces or grams of weed or whatever? Let's see.
The THC level of 6.6 usually refers to the concentration of tetrahydrocannabinol in your system.
Wow.
Often measured in nanograms per milliliter in a blood test. It doesn't translate directly to a specific amount in grams or ounces of weed consumed.
Oh, because it's because of your like size and your weight and.
So 6.6 seems a lot.
I guess that's a lot. They were drunk and high as hell at the wheel
It says
of the
she almost
bus.
crashed the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me at all. All right, let's get the hell out of here. And don't worry, I'm putting that song up that C-Lane played earlier, the song from the beginning of the show. I'll put it up on thenewsjunkie.com right after this. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Here we are already cruising through the year. There's 6 more of those gifted subs from Sun State John available on thenewsjunkie.com. Grab them as we get the hell out of here. Here goes Today I Learned this show. Always Sunny. That's right. Danny DeVito of Always Sunny in Philadelphia worked as a cosmetologist for dead bodies in a morgue before being an actor. He began as after a client of his died as he worked at a beautician at a salon, and they said, "You did a great job. Keep doing this." And finally, today I learned this band right here. Ooh, close.
Oh,
Panic
at the disco.
Panic at the Disco. Yeah, they sound very similar. Panic at the Disco started out as a Blink-182 cover band. I've done that like 10 times. I just wanted to end with high hopes. So here goes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. Thanks for the gifted subs, and we'll see you.